What's up, everybody? Welcome to the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. This is Drew Stone, and we appreciate you listening in. Hope you're doing well and surviving the current zombie apocalypse. We're going to talk about a lot of great stuff today. We're going to have some fun. This is the maiden voyage here. So let's jump right into it. We got an hour here. And let's bring on Rat Bones, huh?
Yo, what's up, everybody?
What's happening, Rat Bones?
Chilling in New York.
What's the update? What's the man in the street update in New York City?
It's quiet. The freaks come out at night. It's shady. People yelling at you in the store. You know, stupid shit. Regular New York shit. But there's that overlooming elephant in the room, right?
You've been going out?
For some fresh air. Once a day, we ride the bikes down to the water. That's about it.
Well, let's keep it moving, and let's bring on Sid the Kid. What's happening?
Hey, Sid the Kid.
Rat Bones, Drew Stone. What's going on, guys?
Where are you, Sid? Where are you?
Right now, just like Rat Bones, in New York City. Been here since it all pretty much went down, and I don't plan on leaving. I know some people want to leave, some don't have that opportunity or don't have the chance, but just dug in and, got to deal with it pretty much.
Are you in Brooklyn? Where are you?
No, I'm in Upper Manhattan at the moment. Been here for the last 5 years in this area. Pretty content with it. I mean,
That's me. That's
right.
That's in New York. An ambulance.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually, because even funny enough, I'm looking at the through the app or through the YouTube app, just checking seeing who's saying what as well, because I can't see it on the private chat or actually the live comments. I should be looking.
What, do you fucking guys don't have a computer?
I'm on the computer.
I got a computer in the bedroom.
We'll talk to you guys a little bit later. All right? We're going to bring hold on. What's happening, Steven?
Hey, how are you?
What's going on?
Steven.
Not too much. I'm in Flushing, Queens, actually, right on the border of Flushing and Corona, right here. And where we just call it the virus. And doing okay. Happy to be still be working,
Is where are you right now? What's that behind you?
Oh,
I'm in stockpile. That's what he has.
I'm in the supply room right now. I'm sitting on a mountain of nitrile gloves right here, and breathing masks and sanitizer and all the things to keep all of our people safe.
Keep it moving, Steven.
For those that don't know, Steven Messina, aka Hardcore Shutterbug, works for the Long Island Railroad. And what you're in the yard in Queens now, right?
Yeah, in Flushing, Queens, Shea Yard. Okay.
So one of the things we're gonna do on the show is we're gonna have Steven come on each day, and we're going to we asked him to give us a photo a day, and we're gonna ask him about it and see what's up. So let me dig up the first photo here. Okay.
What's happening? Yes! Victory for the wretched. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. 100th show. Live from the zombie apocalypse in New York City, in la ciudad de Nueva York, in Estados Unidos, on the planet Earth, in the Andromeda system. Goddamn straight. 100 goddamn motherfucking episodes. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Get ready for a great show. Put your shoes and socks on, kids. It's right around the corner. Clank your chains and count your change. We got a great guest today, old friend of ours, and we're going to bring some special guests on. And we're all very excited. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, Your Core Hardcore Fan Page, the Texas Silver Rush, ORL, Oral Care, and, hold on, and DTFM Vinyl Distro. A lot of new sponsors, man. I'm just trying to. That said, the Texas Silver Rush. Texas Silver Rush is a jewelry design firm and boutique store located at the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with all musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as style them for stage, album covers, promos, social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rolle, Ringo Starr. Every time I see your face, it reminds me of the things we used to do. And of course, the mighty Agnostic Front. All I have is this photograph. During this current pandemic, all information and online sales are being taken on their Facebook and Instagram page, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. While we're at it, DTFM Vinyl Distro is a record store that specializes in underground music, punk, ska, hardcore, metal, and more. Located in the heart of Fargo, North Dakota. The Industrial District. Shop in person or online at www.dtfmvinyldistro.com, where the motto is death to false metal. Who's to say what false metal really is? You know what? We might need to get the guys from Manowar. I gotta ask our guest today if he's had anyone from Manowar on his show. We need to get the guys from Manowar on here and like get straight on what constitutes false metal. True or false? Hey, that said, let's quickly talk about some upcoming shows coming up. This Wednesday is the big A7 reveal show. A7 Back to the New York Hardcore Roots, New York Hardcore compilation. This Wednesday, we're going to bring a bunch of the bands on. We're going to reveal who else is on it. We're going to have the designer on, the artwork, all that. Then after that, on Sunday, February 13th, we got Gavin Van Vleck from Absolution and Burn, one of the old school boppers. Then we got Joe from Wisdom in Chains. And then a little bit of a curveball. Don't be scared, kids. Take my hand. Sunday, February 28th, we got Chris D from the Flesh Eaters, author, actor, and filmmaker. So that said, let me see. How's everybody doing in there? How are all my, what's up, Big Bry? Everybody, I see Robert Hogg. What's up in Scotland? What's up, Maddie? What's up, Gregor? Yo, Rich Zola, rep that shit. My friends in the Car Bomb Parade. Lenny from Crazy Eddie. Yo, May in London, I love you. Pepe Bayonne 1. That's right. There you go. Lori Dawn. Thank you for all your support. I love you. That said, Oi from London. Oi right back at you from New York, brah. What's up, Kevin Haggerty? Rampage Mosh Crew represent. That said, I'm ready. You're ready. We're ready. It's time for Steven Messina, Hardcore Shutterbug. What's up?
What's up?
Hey, you ever shoot Manowar?
You know what? Twice.
Let me guess. At Sundance in Bayshore.
Actually, once at Sundance and once at the Vanderbilt. I don't know if you remember the Vanderbilt.
Nah, what was the Vanderbilt?
The Vanderbilt was in Plainview, New York, and it was closed after a big motorcycle thing, and some people got stabbed. It was a whole thing. But
you mean someone got stabbed at a rock show?
No. It was a motorcycle show.
Oh.
But no one got stabbed at the Manowar show. They were too busy.
Manowar!
They were too busy listening to true metal, fighting the world.
Metal.
You know what?
I don't want to get into my Manowar story. Maybe when we get our guest on, we'll
exactly.
Go I got a good Manowar story.
So I gotta say,
you gotta say, hey,
I gotta say it.
You gotta say
100 episodes. We've made so many great friends. I gotta thank you and Sid and Rat Bones and everybody else. We've had such a blast, and I'm going to raise my glass to all of you right now and say thank you for 100 awesome episodes and more. Actually, cheers.
Cheers, big ears. What are you
That's
drinking?
What
are you drinking? Whiskey on a Sunday?
Doing a little peanut butter whiskey right there.
What is that?
It's delicious.
Damn, I'm a big peanut butter fan, man.
Ah, it's so good. It even says to the Misfits, Black Sheep, and Screwballs right on it.
Drink this shit.
Cheers.
Cheers, big ears. Hey, let's do
Picture of the day.
Oh well, you could do your own intro. Wait, hold on. Let me gear it up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Picture of the day.
Wrong answers only, please. Here we go. Picture of the day. Well, this is very appropriate for our 100th show because these are two beloved figures. Yep.
Trying to get Vinny out of his shell. Look at him. He's so shy.
Yep. Let's see. Yo, got to shout out Davey Gunner from Kraut and End of Hope. Gina B, what's up? Chris Hoffman, up your nose with a rubber hose. Here we go. Okay. Is it Kiss Unmasked?
Oh my God, he got it on the first guess.
It's
Vinnie Vincent.
Is it Menudo? Is it False Metal? Good one. Is it Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora? Is it Bronski Beat? Good one.
Oh, geez.
What was that Bronski Beat song that they had? Was it Bronski Beat?
I remember the name. I couldn't tell you the song.
Run away, run away, run away, run away. Was that Bronski Beat?
No, I know that song too.
Was that the video, right? He was like, they were chasing him around. He was a little gay, that whole thing. was that somebody in the chat room? Is that what that was? Small Town Boy? All right, let's oh man. Is it Marilyn Manson? Yo, let's not even get into the Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I was gonna say
let's not even get into the Marilyn Manson thing. That poor guy, man. Better watch what you do behind closed doors, with your penis.
That shit'll come back to get you.
Jesus, man.
Oh man.
Is it Small Town Boy? Okay. Is it Oasis? Is it Devo?
It's always Devo.
Is it Little Steven with the bandana? Is it the Bay City Rollers?
Now we're getting somewhere.
White Zombie. 100 episodes. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Is it Jimmy Durante? I love that one. Is it Hall & Oates? That's good. That's a good one. Is it Hall & Oates? Hall & Oates, we talk about this. Hall & Oates hate each other's guts.
Do they really?
Yeah, you never heard that story? Like that's always like the thing. Like when your band is like going through hard times and like the record company or manager says, "What do you think? Hall & Oates like each other? They hate each other's guts, man." Like
because of that mustache.
Hall & Oates is like the go-to. Like they fucking hate it. They don't talk to each other. They get on stage from opposite sides. They don't even make eye contact during the show. Is it Mick and Keith? Is it Loverboy? All right, here we go. Enough silliness. Actually, you sent me another one, right?
I did, yes.
Hold on, let me see. Oh, this one's good. This one's good. Hold on. They added a step here. Okay. Let's go. Where is it? Here we go. All right.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Correct answers only, please. Is it Agnostic Back? Is it Agnostic Flan? It's the Legends AF. What else you got? Right answers only. Is it AF? Is it Simon and Garfunkel? All right. Come on. Come on. Everyone knows who the fuck it is. All right.
That's right.
Right.
If you don't know who it is, you've been watching the wrong show for 100 episodes.
If you don't know who that is, get the fuck out of here.
That is the Godfathers right
And don't
there.
let the door hit you in the ass. Yep.
This is going back to 2011 at a place called Santos Party House in New York City. And November 2011. And it was it was a great show. It was Agnostic Front and Incendiary opening up. And this one in particular, just a great show, great room. It's a room I've only been to a couple of times. And I think, I don't know if it's true, you might know better than I, but didn't Andrew WK own that room?
I think he had something to do with it. Yeah.
Right. He might have had a piece of it or something.
Yeah, he had a piece of the action. He was
It was a really cool room, although it had these really inconvenient pillars.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was another one of those venues that was just not, was not built to be a music venue.
Right, where if you stage dived it, you had to negotiate these pillars, and otherwise you would have, give yourself a concussion on the way down.
Yeah.
But this one, this was a favorite show of mine. This is Joe James was still in the band at the time. Great, great. When is Agnostic Front not great?
You know what? Really. I noticed. Hold on. They added an extra step here with putting pictures up.
Technology is the devil.
Hey, listen. The Unabomber wasn't too far off with that manifesto. Technology is evil. It's going to destroy the planet. I noticed in the first picture, not to digress, but is that Steve Martin playing guitar behind Vinny?
I believe he did jump up and play.
It is.
As a matter of fact, yeah.
That's Steve Martin, and then Joe James is standing behind him.
Yeah, there was a few guys. I believe there were a few guests that night that were awesome. And if I may say, my favorite part of this photo is that the Godfather of Hardcore is wearing a Serial Poet shirt.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that.
All right, you're getting a little love.
Can't beat that. That's like a blessing from the Pope right there.
Yeah, right. Your band. So, yeah. You know what? Vinny does that. Vinny wears a different shirt every night. Like he's like every night. No, he's like, what's his name? When I don't know if you remember this, but when the dude from REM won some award.
And he had like 20 shirts on. I remember that. Michael Stipe. Wow, that's going back.
Cool. Well, all right, awesome. Man. Well, thank you, brother.
I'm excited, man. This is awesome.
I'm Drew. Pleased to meet you.
I'm excited to sit back and watch this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
You're awesome, bro. Thank you for being
you're
part
awesome.
Of it. No,
and you, and you, and you, and you, not you, and you.
All right. Let's keep it going. I'll see you a little bit.
Cheers.
All right. What's up? What's up? This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, Your Core Hardcore Fan Page, The Texas Silver Rush, ORL, Organic Oral Care, DTFM, Vinyl Distro, and Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards. Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, located in Lakewood, Colorado, is the Rocky Mountain headquarters for all things punk, hardcore, and metal. Established in 2014, they have the largest selection of records, CDs, shirts, stickers, patches, and accessories between Chicago and LA. From the pit to the ditch, they got your back. Get in touch with them at www.chainreactionrecords.com. Also, Your Core fan page. In the wake of the pandemic, Your Core Chris created Your Core fan page. Utilizing the lessons learned from over 20 years of being an educator and social worker, he decided to try to reach where hardcore punk and the surrounding genre of bands create, not only their music, but their message. The interviews are from a psychological perspective to harvest motivation, personal insight, and perspective. Please reach out to them on Facebook or Instagram if you have contact to share, even if your band fucking sucks, or if you want to promote your band. Your Core Hardcore fan page. That said, let's clear the deck and let's bring our guest on. Let me make sure everybody's okay in there. Everybody okay in that chat room? Listen, get ready because we're going to do, I know everybody's waiting for the big ORL pitch later on. Guaranteed to bring the house down. That's later on in the show. So, that said, 100th show. Hey, you know what? Before we hop to it, I want to thank a couple people. I want to thank Christine Cambria, my ex-wife, who a while back said to me, you should do like a hardcore show. And I was like, nah, fuck that. I don't want, who needs that headache? And then a week later, I was like, I should do, now that we're stuck in, I should do a show. So we laugh about it. but Christine Camry gets some credit. I want to thank my dad, Arnie Stone, my brother, Evan Stone, my sister, Kelly Stone Binday. I want to thank Agnes, my gal out in Brooklyn, for always being supportive and helpful. Larry Kelly and all the people, the original crew that really got behind the show. Upstate Rick, Lori Dawn, Mark Tulch, Daisha, Chris Hoffman, Vinny Doak. Yo, you know who you are. Thank you for getting behind the show early on and creating some momentum. I really appreciate it. Thank Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, Christine's art. That said, let's clear the deck. Enough already. Let's get it on. Here we go. Today's guest for the 100th motherfucking show. Today's guest is an American singer, songwriter, producer, and podcast host, hailing from New Haven, Connecticut. He's known for his work with the bands Kingdom of Sorrow, Jasta, Ice Pick, and of course, the Grammy Award-nominated Hatebreed. For over 568 episodes, he's been the host of the Jasta Show podcast, and for 4 years, he hosted MTV's Headbangers Ball. Please welcome, coming at us from the Constitution State of Connecticut, our old friend, and we are absolutely honored to have him, Mr. Jamey Jasta. What's up?
What's up, Drew? Congrats on 100 episodes, man.
My man,
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, dude. I gotta say, man, your preparation, organization, and execution is the reason why you've had so much success with this show. I'm gonna take a page from your book. I think everybody who has any sort of attention deficit issues in their life needs to go to you and copy you, because, man, I gotta commend you. The rollout. All the support from everybody. Thank you, everybody. So many nice messages saying they were looking forward to today, and yeah, man, great work.
I have found a way to harness my ADD, and so there you go. Hey, you're in my world now, bro. You know, I know you dance with that heavy metal shit, but you're back in the hardcore game now, kid. So don't be scared. You know, take my hand, it's okay.
Well, I liked what you said in your intro. You're like, do a hardcore show. Who wants to do that? But then you dove right in, and it's a great lane, and you're the perfect person to do it because, like I said, with the preparation, organization, you can wrangle all these animals. You can make these maniacs be here on time. Set up, get headphones, get a laptop, learn how to StreamYard. I was talking to Scott Vogel the other day, and I'm like, dude, you got to get headphones, a laptop.
Yeah, he's out of control, man.
People are like, how come you don't have Scott from Terror on? If I do, you'll complain that it's a phone and there's wind and you can't hear the episode. Do you know how hard it was with Carl from Earth Crisis? Shout out to Carl. I love you, Carl. But he had to borrow a laptop, go to a good place with internet that's like, down the road at his guitar player's mother's house or whatever. I mean, but I love it. I think you're doing a great thing. And I think the lane was open. You executed perfectly. And there are so many great hardcore, talented, amazing punk, hardcore, and related, subgenre artists that don't get the platform. And you're giving them that, and it's beautiful. And there is an interest there. There's the cult following there, and you're the person that's gonna, provide a lot of fans that don't know a lot of these people an insight into what they're doing, and then also the history, which is, I think, always been part of hardcore, right? Like the kids, they want to wear the shirt from 30 years ago. They want to have the patch and they want to have the record from 35 years ago, and that's great. And the kids that support the new stuff are great too, but that's what I love. It's like you never know what you're going to get, and you're helping give that exposure,
It's I like how you mentioned the two guys that I already had on my show, and I already suffered through the both of them on my show. with it's unbelievable how some people at this point, like, I don't even know how to turn a computer on. It's who's another one I'm trying to get on the show is Doyle from the Misfits, and who's an old friend of mine. And he's like, I don't have a computer. I'm like, bro, come on, man.
Oh, I love Doyle. Shout out to Doyle. I gotta say, my daughter, and shout out to my daughter and my girlfriend. They've been so supportive. I mean, I've never been home this long, and I can imagine that it's driving them crazy. I'm driving them up a fucking wall, and they're vegan. And Doyle sent me this protein. I tried to be vegan with them while I've been home, and I've been feeling like shit. And I'm not sponsored by Doyle. This is just a shout out to Doyle. I started using that protein. And God, I felt so much better because all I was eating was carbs and sugar. I had no, this vegan fucking diet. I was like eating like carrots and sweet potatoes. But yeah, that Doyle protein is great.
This is gonna be fun because I feel like I should just take my notes and rip it up and just freelance. And you and me can sit here and go back and forth for like 6 hours, man.
No, I want to hear about ORL. What is like? I was like,
we'll get there.
What is that?
We'll get there, bro.
Also, I want to hear about the Texas Silver. Like, do I need to be investing in silver?
No, the Texas Silver Rush is our boy Joe Ramini. It's fucking Vinny Stigma's cousin.
I thought it was a silver, like invest in silver. Everybody's talking about silver. He's got a jewelry shop in Texas. Listen, I got them all sponsoring the show. I don't give a fuck whether you got a jewelry shop in Texas or a fucking landscaping shop in New Jersey. You're welcome here on the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. And I love it. Yeah, I love it. That's the way to go.
Let's get into a little bit. For what happened when the zombie apocalypse hit with you? Where were you at? What was going on? How did your life change? Did you have shows booked? Bring us up to date on sort of what happened when the shit hit the fan with you.
Yeah, it was a disaster, and I don't like to. It's first world problems, right? I don't want to complain too much, and I've dealt with it. I went through the stages. I don't know what they say when you have something detrimental happen in your career or in your life, like if you get really sick or if you get horrible news, there's these stages like the denial, the grief, the what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the acceptance is the last stage, the final stage. It was like release the record, finally get a support tour, because that's been something we've had a major problem with for a long time, is that bands don't want to take us on tour. And there's certain bands that they'll make it like a compliment, but it's like a backhanded compliment. Like, we don't want to play after you. And it's like, is that really what it is? Or you don't like the audience, or you don't like us as people, or, you always like doubt why they're giving you this reason, right? Like you get submitted and then you get into the final like 4, and then it's always some excuse, or this band's got a bigger manager or whatever. And we've always been trying to get to a new audience when we can, right? It's like you can only preach to the converted so long, and the world is moving so fast that bands will rise in the metal genre and then have this whole new audience, and that audience hasn't gone down the rabbit hole of heavy music like we have.
Right.
And when they go down that rabbit hole, eventually, if they're really inspired by heavy music, there's that gateway band, and they find all the bands. Like there's this band Volbeat. I don't know if the audience here knows of them, but
my audience is, it's primarily Neanderthals. There's a few people. There's a few cyborgs, a few mutants, and a few hybrids. But for the most part, people, my audience here, knows beyond like Agnostic Front, Cro-Mags, Hatebreed, Volbeat.
Okay, well, so we got asked to go out on tour with them. Their singer loves heavy music. Used to be in a death metal band, but it's a very sort of straightforward rock, heavy rock band, right? Is that fair?
Yeah, man. They're like the Misfits meets Social Distortion meets. They're great.
Life of Agony or something. Yeah,
that's Rob Caggiano that used to be in Anthrax is in the band, right?
Right. And so this was a big deal. We're going to play some arenas. We're going to play some big theaters. We're going out in the UK and Europe, and it's good pay, and there's not a lot of restrictions on the merch. It's not like, you know, they're like nice people, really, really nice professional road crew. And every night when I would go out to the merch, I would meet kids and they would go, "This is my first show." And this is going back like 5 years ago, 6 years. Actually, it might even be like 7 years ago.
Right.
But this is something that you want to hear as an artist that doesn't have any way to get out to people, right? We don't have the push from the label. We don't have the high-powered manager. We're even though people think we're a huge band, it's DIY. It's still very insulated, and it's still just hitting the boots to concrete and going out. We're not going to get on the radio. And if we do, it's at like 4 a.m. and you got to pay for this huge amount of promotion through some company. We're not going to get, you know, featured on YouTube because of the name. A lot of anything with the word hate in it is shadow banned on YouTube.
Is that right?
So,
Right?
Yeah. And we've had a lot of our shit like deleted, and then they re-uploaded it and whatever. So it's always a struggle with us. Like, we're always repaying our dues. So when we go on that run with Volbeat, that was like the last kind of big support slot that we had. And that was over in Europe. And we thought, man, it would be great if we could do that in the States.
Yeah.
But when we go out in the States, like we did for our 25th anniversary, we obviously want to give everybody the best show possible. So we want to stack the bill, right? We got Chromags, Terror, Obituary, who else do we have on there? Fit for an Autopsy. And then we had a second leg with like Prong and Madball and
Wow.
and Agnostic Front. And I mean, it was incredible. But not one night did someone say, "This is my first show." You know what I mean? So it's you have to try to get to the gateway band if you can. Right. And it's been something very hard. So this band, Parkway Drive, is huge all over the world, selling out arenas.
Where are they from?
And they're from Australia. They actually opened for us one of their first shows.
Parkway Drive, huge band. They wear our shirts. They've said nothing but, you know, amazing stuff about us, being influences on them. And, you know, if you ask Roger from Agnostic Front, you could ask all these bands in the hardcore scene that get lip service from big artists. They talk about you in a magazine, they wear you in a shirt, but they never take you on tour. Right.
And this was one of these bands, along with Volbeat, where they did that, but then they put their money where their mouth was, and they take you on the tour. They give you a great offer. They don't stress you out. They give you, you know, a nice dressing room, all this stuff. So we're going out in huge theaters, arenas all over the world. Finally, right when we drop an album, not like 3 years after the album's momentum is gone.
Right.
And they go, "It's done. It's gone. It's moved to 2021 or 2022. And when the album is done, what do we do?" Well, unfortunately, we made the decision of delaying the record until November. Then the record came out in November. Then there's no push and there's no tour behind it. And now it's like dead in the water. So it's, you know, what can you do? We could probably go to Florida and do shows, or go to Texas and do shows, or go shoot some videos. But then you're dealing with all this, you know, you're trying to kill my grandmother.
Yeah.
You're, you know, all you care about is money. You should be quarantining. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you don't release the record, people will go, "What the fuck? Why are you sitting on a record? Do the right thing for the fans." But then you do the right thing for the fans, and then the websites, you know, post, "Oh, it's the first Hatebreed record that didn't get on Billboard." Yeah, there's no stores open. We just put it out so people would fucking stream it. What do you think they're gonna buy it? Where can you buy it? You can't even get it on Amazon. I'm sorry.
I've got a quote. Can I quote you?
Yes.
And I quote, "I've never been off the road this long. I've never felt that my house was my home. It was just sort of a place that I went in between tours."
Yeah. Do you know, I'm not kidding you. This is something I said to Clown from Slipknot the other day, and he was laughing, and he was like, he wasn't laughing like at me. He was kind of laughing with me, but I didn't know until this year, age 43, that shingles on like your roof were different colors. I always thought everybody's roof was the same color. Like, who gives a fuck about the color of the roof? I've never looked at a roof until I had to get my roof done this year, because the only time I was home where my girl was like, yo, it's been 15 years. Can we get a new fucking roof? Like,
Motherfucker, you're home now. You're not running around the world.
Yeah. And then she goes, I got to pick out the color. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I don't want a blue roof like your dad and your stepmom. I go,
Hey,
wait, the roof is blue?
First world problems, right?
I never looked at But you know what? Listen, when these guys came, they made a party out of it. They were up there. They're fucking firing down the old shingles. They got a dog with them. They had a girl making food. I mean, it was amazing. And I'm out there and I'm talking to them. And I was like, man, I'm never complaining about anything ever again. Like, they don't get roofer's block. You don't go, oh, I got roofer's block. What am I going to do? No, you get up on the fucking roof and you do your job. So that's what we got to do. It's like, when the time comes, it's like, just fucking write your script, write your song, fucking book your tour, do whatever you got to do.
You know, I was thinking about you today, and I was listening to some Hatebreed, a lot of it this morning, and I listened to the new record, and two things that came to mind. One was how incredibly proficient a songwriter you've been. I mean, to come up with this stuff through all these years, man, like is pretty commendable, you know?
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, you know, because I was listening to your new record and I was like, wow. I mean, your new record slams, man. I mean, weight of false.
High praise coming from you. Thank you.
Weight of false self. It's a little
weight of
different,
the false
man.
self.
Yo, a little different, man. That song is really a little different, but man, the new record is just great, man. And to all these years later, man, you're still such a proficient writer, man. How do you go to the well after all these years, man?
Well, you want to get a little spacey?
Yeah, sure. Why not? We got a minute.
Because I was thinking about this other night. It's there for everybody. It's like the cloud. It's like, but everybody has access to it. And I think people, again, it goes to like what I was just saying about the writer's block. Like, if you have a job and you got to do it, and you have to do it, otherwise you can't pay your bills, or you know what I mean? Like the necessity, what do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention.
Invention. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like free therapy. And it's like there's these caverns in my brain where I have to explore them. Otherwise I feel like something dark is going to live in there. It's like, shine the light in that cavern, make sure it's empty, and otherwise something dark and evil is going to grow in there. You know what I mean? Like,
it makes sense.
It's an exorcism of demons, like, every time. That's why touring is weird when you have a night off and you don't get that outlet. And then this is weird when you've had 14 months off and you don't have that outlet. So I just kept going for it. You know, I just kept writing and saying, what can I do that's different? What can I do that you haven't heard before? What can I talk about? Can I expand on old topics?
You really, yeah. And I was listening, I was out, and it was sort of, it was on Spotify. So it was going from one record to the other. And I thought of something that Tom Araya said a while back. Oh, it might have been Kerry King, actually. I asked him, what's the new Slayer record going to sound like? And he said, it's going to sound like a Slayer record. And I must say, Hatebreed sounds like motherfucking Hatebreed, bro. I mean, you have really fine-tuned, you know, you have really polished and buffed the sharp edges. That, like, the new record and the one before that, I heard, you know, wow. I mean, from what I sort of like, what I remember really, the early days and you know, to now, it's like, wow, that is a fine-tuned machine, man.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. I think going back to the necessity is the mother of invention. After we did Divinity of Purpose, where even though we had some, I guess you could call them whatever, pit hits or some hits off that record that did really well on streaming and did well for us live, and the videos did okay on YouTube, you know, a couple million views or whatever. Mm-hmm. we, like I was saying earlier, we didn't get a chance to support anybody until like 3 years at the end of the album cycle. We supported Black Label Society on a US and Canada run, and then we did a Real Shore arena tour with Slipknot. And on both of those tours, the record popped off. We sold a lot. Our meet and greets were packed. Both bands let us do meet and greets beforehand.
Wow.
And it was like, man, imagine if we were able to get some exposure on this 3 years ago when the record had momentum. And when we went into Concrete Confessional, I felt like I needed to put the fire underneath my own ass, and it had to be better than Divinity or Purpose. And I had to come with a culturally significant song, bigger than I Will Be Heard, bigger than Live for This, bigger than Destroy Everything, bigger than This Is Now. And I didn't know what to do, but somehow I tapped into that cloud, that inspiration, motivation. Some people get it from like a runner's high. Some people get it from while they're just in the shower. Like, I don't know where you get when do you feel like where you get your best ideas for your treatments, for your scripts, for stuff you're going to talk about on the show? When do you feel it comes to you?
When I'm sort of unconscious, when I'm like waiting for the subway, you know, when I'm just sort of not thinking about it too hard. But my thing's a little bit different. You know, it's just like, for me, I get one idea for a film or for something. You get to sort of that one idea, and then it's just a matter of making it work. Like I'll get a film idea and then start, like, it'll be like a block of clay, which I'm sure it's similar. You know, I'll get that idea and then start to sort of, you know, turn it into something, you know. But, you know, I certainly, you know, don't sit down and I need to, you know, come up with something. But, you know, singing an Antidote or recently, you know, we recorded, and it was difficult for me to come up with lyrics, because it's not something that I do all the time. It's like a reflex muscle. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a little foreign. Like we're not a band that, you know, constantly, you know, is doing stuff, but doing the show, I do the show a lot. You know, it's reflex action. You know, you just get better at it. You know, my documentary films are getting better. The show's getting better. You just you know, go with what you know, right? And utilize your strengths.
Yeah, and it's like it's definitely a case of use it or lose it.
Yeah.
And if you do lose it, it's like getting back on the bike, but sometimes the bike's a little wobbly, needs to be tuned up. Your equilibrium's a little off. And on that record, what I did was I tried to read and watch films and go running and do things. And when I was running, I'd listen to like audiobooks, and I would try to connect with people that had no other options, like people that their backs were against the wall.
Yeah.
And I would find interviews, like I would scour YouTube interviews.
Wow.
For just characters. Like remember, like that's why we loved hardcore and punk growing up. Mm-hmm. Like Doyle, you bring up Doyle. There's only one Doyle. He's a character, right?
Yep.
Makes a great hot sauce, makes a great pea protein. Shout out to Doyle, love Doyle. And they broke the mold after that guy. There's nobody like him. There's nobody that has that style, that plays like that. That's the characters, those people that somehow, some way, they worked hard and they got past the hump. They got over the hump. And one of them was this MMA fighter, this guy Jens Pulver.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like had this story of just being viciously abused as a kid, and it was very sad. But he basically said that his dad was going to kill him, and he came in and he was like, fuck it, you're not even worth the bullets. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, you know, even if you've never been abused, or if you've never felt that low in your life or had someone that you love, you know, betray you like that, you could still, everyone's felt at one point that they weren't worth something to someone. So I started toying with the idea, with the lyric, and then I started fucking with the riff. I showed it to Zeus and he was like, that's the one, dude. But I couldn't get it. I couldn't finish it.
I hate
it was
that.
like the last one on the record.
The worst.
But when it clicked, it finally clicked. To me, it was like 95%. So I was like, what's the saying? You're never truly done. You just walk away. Like you never, like, I'm sure when you did Michael's film or any of your films, like you're never truly done. You're like, oh, I got to get this one other interview. Or I got it right.
I'm a little. Yeah, I know that concept. I've tried to. I've worked past that. I mean, that was something that I dealt with when we were doing the music videos back in the day when I was working with Paris from the Chromags and we were doing the Onyx videos and all that. That was more we felt we could, you know, because he liked to really. I had to cut it in the edit room. I'd have to be like, yo, that's it, bro. There's no more fucking money. That's it. You know, we're done. But you know, what I do now,
you walk away, you edit it,
yeah.
You get everything in, and you have to be happy with the outcome, and you have to believe in it. Like if you didn't believe in it, you wouldn't put it out. You thought the story was great.
Always.
You thought Michael's a character, which he is.
That film,
and
that film I'm proud of. That film, the planets lined up. You know, that film, yeah, it was great. I mean, I can't complain. That film came together. It's a special film, and so's the New York Hardcore Chronicles film that I directed. I'm very proud of that film. That really came together. But you know, but everything's we have a saying around here. You know, it can't always be an upper deck home run. You know.
Yes, exactly. So, but you try, right? You make the effort.
Absolutely.
So when I finished that and made the effort, I was driving home and I listened to it and I was like, we got another one. And sometimes you get lucky and you get another one. And then it changed the culture for the band. It's our biggest song. And so now what do? It's 2000, you know, we toured on it. We got greedy. We did too many tours. You know, we're supposed to put a new record out, not wait 4 years, not wait 3 years, ride the momentum, go in, do another record while you feel inspired, while you feel motivated. But got offered the Clutch tour, got offered the Dropkick Murphys. We hadn't toured with them since 99. So it's almost like this is karma. This whole,
oh, stop it.
Being off for trying to milk it for too long because it was big.
Right. I mean, hey, go on. I'm sorry.
It's because at the end of the day, when you look at the business aspect of things, right? It usually for us, I'm sure for a lot of bands from the same world, whether it's metal or death metal or hardcore, usually when you go on a tour, people want to buy like the first 2 album shirts. You always bring the first 2. But for us, it was the Concrete Confessional from 2016 on. Everybody wanted that artwork. They wanted the vinyl. That was the best-selling design. And it was a big deal to have that sort of pop that late in your career.
Yeah.
How do you follow it up? And then we thought we followed up good, but then it goes away. It's because of all this stuff. But I can't complain. It's given me this opportunity to really get myself out of the slump.
Stuck at home with your kid and your girl. Hey, I want to Zabagor just did a super chat. So I promised my people when you do a super chat, you know, you go to the front of the line and he says, "Hey guys, as a drummer, I want to shout out the mighty Matt Byrne. Doesn't get the love he deserves as a complete groove master, and his breakdown chops are as good as anyone on the planet. Kai Kai." Okay.
Indeed. Good point, Zapagor. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to everybody in the chat here. Now I got it. Shout out to Dave Shivari, El Nino crew. What's up, Dave?
Yeah. Now you see.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Clint Eastwood's here. Clint. Shout out to Clint. Yo, let me tell you, High Plains Drifter is hard.
Oh, we're gonna
Can
get
you
down on.
imagine?
We're gonna get down on that now. You know what's hard? Listen, you know what my favorite is? Outlaw Josie Wales, bro.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yo, Outlaw Josie Wales. He directed Outlaw Josie Wales. It's one of my favorites, man. It's great.
That is so good. We
Yeah.
had a bar growing up that my uncle used to do some unsavory things in called Josie Wales. It was right down the street from my grandmother's house.
I mean, all those films, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly for a few dollars more, High Plains Drifter, you know. But I love
Prolific.
I love
So
Outlaw
prolific.
Josie Wales, man. Yo, you know what's a crazy Clint Eastwood film? The Gauntlet, bro.
Oh shit, I haven't seen that in like
Dude, he's supposed
25 years.
Dude, he's supposed to bring back some prisoner, and they're trying to stop him, and he outfits the bus with it's the
Amazing. Dude, he's like the Iron Maiden of action.
Yo, Mike Gitter,
movies.
what's up? Mike Gitter, check it in. All
Oh
right.
shit, Gitter, what's
Gitter?
up?
All right.
Yo, what was the movie where they had to take the truck through like the Amazon with the old dynamite? Does anybody remember this?
Bro, do I need to go get the DVD right now?
Sorcerer?
You got it, kid.
Yeah. That is why did that movie is hard.
Dude,
Yo,
you
we're
know
gonna
who
watch that
directed
for our movie
You know who
podcast.
directed that? Do you know who directed that?
Exorcist, dude.
William Friedkin.
Love Friedkin.
Wow, bro, I'm not mad at you.
Dude, you got to do the movie podcast. I forgot.
Yeah, we gotta do a movie thing together. Yo, Sorcerer is one of my all-time favorites, man. That's a landmark film because that was one of the last old Hollywood films that they did, right? Because that dude was coming off The Exorcist, and you know what changed the game forever? That came out right after that movie, Star Wars. So that was like the end of the 70 whatever 7, and that film was like the last of that sort of like that era of Hollywood, you know, where a director can, you know, and because after that Star Wars changed everything. And I have that on Blu-ray, man. That's a great film.
I'm so glad that we're talking about this because when you come on our movie podcast, that's the one we got to watch. And I'm so glad you brought up about the old Hollywood system, because the corporate bullshit that came in after that, with all the product placement. And don't get me wrong, I'll take a corporate check anytime I can get, especially if I can, reinvest it into something local or give the money into like a community thing. But the product placement, all the fucking shit that went into films going forward. And because I think that movie didn't do so well at the box office, it was like they all cashed out. All the big studio heads that were kind of letting the real super creative, talented guys like Friedkin do their thing. We're like, you know what? We had our fun. We made billions of dollars. We're cashing out. Let the Coppolas and the George Lucases and the Robert Zemeckis and all those guys, let them take over, do the thing. And they all did great work. Don't get me wrong. But it definitely changed when it started to become all about the corporate shit and the product placement. And
my audience is bugging out. We've turned it into a film podcast.
Sorcerer is hard.
Listen, let's do it, man. I love that film. I have it right here. If you want, I'll watch it and I'll mail it to you. You watch it. Let's do it because that film really is great. Hey, the script is out the window here, but I just want to say that early on, we met early on when I was managing bands. I was managing Fury of 5 and Marauder, and you were promoting shows in Connecticut, and we came up and played in Connecticut. I came up with Marauder, and Marauder played. I don't remember the name of the place. But I think you guys were on the bill too. But I mentioned this when I was on your show. We ended up staying at your parents' house, right? And I slept in your sister's room in your sister's bed, not with your sister, but you know, you just like myself, you just love music, bro. You were just an incredible music fan, and that's like what drew me to Michael Alago when I started talking to him. He just said to me, "I just love music," and that really spoke to me. And I felt when Alago said that to me, I was like, "Yo, I know who this kid. This is the Puerto Rican kid I went to public high school with in the Bronx. You know, like I know who this kid is. I can make this film." And you know, just a real inherent love of music. And you know, I saw that in you early on, and you know, you just had such a love for the genre and the music, and you got into so much early on, whether it was promoting bands, music, you know, the record label, and so much, man, and your work ethic, man. Like I said this, but I just want to get this out of the way. I'm just so proud of what you've done, man. You know, you just exercise an incredible work ethic, man.
Thanks, Drew. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. No, I saw that there was less gatekeepers, there was less resistance, and there was more reward. Like when you book a show and someone comes up and they go, "Oh my God, this is great. Look, these kids are passionate." I knew that there were so many like-minded people that wanted these bands to be booked, and the promoters weren't doing it. And a lot of life is just finding a demand for something and seeing that someone else isn't doing it and getting in that lane and walking around shows, selling demos, selling the Marauder demo, driving, either taking the train in or driving some car in that I bought for $400, going to Astor Place. What was his name? He did the Astor Records. I would buy the stuff off him wholesale, and then I would go back and I would sell it at shows. Who put out the first Marauder demo.
He had a record store?
I think it was Mark. No, he had like a label. He put out like the Marauder and the Dark Side 7-inch. And
I don't know. I'm sure someone will know. Someone will pop up.
Blake connected me. Shout out to Blake. He connected me with this guy, and then we started just doing snail mail. Like, you know, you send them a money or postal money order, and going to the show, and people would be like, "Yo, I bought that demo. That Marauder demo that shit was hard. You know, what else do you got?" And then literally, I
is that Mark Libetti from Maximum Penalty?
I think it was was it Mark, or was it
Mark Libetti from MP? What's up, maybe. Darren?
What's up, Darren? But anyways, so $2 became $4, and people were happy to pay the $4 because it's a good tape. It had a nice cover.
It's like you were moving drugs up from the city, but it was music.
Yes, and so when you're driving with demos in the back of your car, you're not white knuckle gripped at time every time a cop gets behind you, and you're like not praying and stuff. So it was less anxiety. And when I would do these shows, kids would come up, they would pay their money. You would hope that you had enough to pay the bands, and then you had enough to reinvest in the next show, because what booking agents do is they take a deposit. And if you get good with the booking agent and they trust you, sometimes they say you don't have to send a deposit, but you would always try to make enough to send that 10% deposit for the next show, and you wanted to get bigger shows. Like my goal was to book Misfits if they ever did a reunion, or if they ever got back together, which I did get to do when they got back together with Michael Graves. The other goal was to book Zakk Wylde, because I loved Zakk. I loved when he went solo. I loved Sonic Brew and all that stuff. And then I wanted to book obviously all the hardcore bands, you know, Youth of Today reunion. I wanted to book.
What was the name of that club up there that you used to do a lot of stuff in? Up by you?
There was City Limits. There was Hanover House. There was the skate park. There was I did this place Max Aluna's, where I did a bunch of shows. It was like it was
always mind-boggling to me that like Connecticut, you cultivated such an incredible scene that gravitated from. It was sort of like where you did the shows. You had kids that came from Massachusetts. You had kids that came from upstate. You sort of like plopped it. Like everybody had an hour and a half drive, and the shows were incredibly attended.
Yeah. I mean, when we did I did Exodus with Paul Bailoff. I did SOD. I booked a bunch of SOD shows with Crowbar. I did Guar. I did COC.
Is that the skate park in Wallingford?
I did both Wallingford and Bristol. And seeing how happy people were when you bring their favorite band to town, it was rewarding. It wasn't like the jobs that I had worked where, I worked for a screen printer. It'd be like, you printed the shirt wrong. You fucked this up. You did that. I was a line cook trying to become a sous chef, started as a dishwasher.
I was going to ask you, was there a plan B,
No, because I was like, I can't do this. I'm not built for this. I'm not built. There was a Jamaican guy.
I hear you.
This Jamaican guy, Ali, I should try to contact him and get him on my show. This dude was so hard. He would I would get the fries out, and if I was wasting time and he had to plate the dish, he would just come over literally and this dude's hands, when you shook his hands, it was like steel. It was like he fucking would just reach in and grab the fries, boiling oil, put them on a paper towel, and then plate them with the steak or whatever was going on there. This dude was hard. And I was like, I'm not built like this dude. I gotta do songs. I gotta go book shows. I gotta put out bands on my label.
I was there, man.
So
I was there.
I knew it wasn't my path. I respected it, and I wanted them to. And they wanted to see me win. They were like, I would leave early and go play a show. And then they would ask me the next day, like, how was the show? And I was like, it was awesome. I remember we opened for Machine Head down in New London at this place, the LNG. And
that's a classic fucking place, man.
And this band, I won't say the band's name because I actually like one of the dudes from the band, but there was a band with them that they didn't want us. There was no backstage, and they didn't want us near their gear.
That place, fucking no backstage.
Yeah,
that place was. You know who used to fucking kill that place was Biohazard.
Madball.
Madball too. Madball too. Absolutely Madball.
But the crossover bands did really good there, like the Propanes and the Crowbars and the Biohazards. Yeah, but this band that was on tour with Machine Head, I went to give the singer a tape. And he was a total dick to me, and they had an issue where we were gonna set up our shirts and stuff, and so when we played, the audience went crazy, and we brought a good crowd, and then when they played, it kind of people went outside, smoke break, went to the bar, kind of thinned out, so they were pissed, and that was one of the first times. When I went to the merch, we had a line, and they were pissed that they said they weren't selling shirts because people were blocking, our line of kids waiting to get our demo and our shirt was blocking them. But really, nobody was checking for them, and we're the local band, and we had people coming from Providence, and that was the first time where I saw, we can do this. If this band is on the cover, this was a band that was on the cover of Terrorizer,
on the cover of Kerrang, right? Yeah.
Right. They were on the cover of Terrorizer, which was always my goal. I used to go to News Haven and buy it. It was like $2 or something. I was like, how did they do that? How did they make any money off that? But when I saw that, and I saw that they were on all these magazines, they were in Illiterature, they were in Metal Maniacs, they were in Circus. And then nobody's even going to buy a shirt, and we got a line out the door for our demo and our shirt. I thought there has to be something here, even if people say there isn't, which they would always do that. They would always go, "There's no market for this."
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They would go, "Your voice is terrible. No one is gonna." And I would go, "But." Look at Sepultura, and they would go, "Oh, but they can only play Toad's Place." So what? It's a great career.
Even going back from there, early Metallica, that shit's not going anywhere,
dude. When Sepultura
Sepultura, absolutely. Monty Connor had that vision, man.
He did. I got to give Monty the credit.
Yeah.
Everybody at Roadrunner at that time, even Case, even though he's a little bit of a hater on the heavier shit.
Yep.
And
let's call let's call it.
Case is a hater. Case is a hater.
He's show, kid. Come on now.
Yeah. Where's Gitter? Get her nose. Case is a hater.
Hey, I got to shout out some sponsors. Give me a minute or two here. Let me take care of some business, and we'll come back and we're going to bring on some special guests. Okay.
Yeah, and I got to tell you that Sepultura shit.
All right, hold on. Yo, what's happening? This is the landmark 100th episode of the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, Your Core Hardcore fan page, ORL, and Organic Grill. Organic Grill is a vegan restaurant located in the East Village of New York City at 123 First Avenue, featured in New York Magazine, New York Times, and Veg News. Their dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on the menu can be made gluten-free. This year, they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. They're all about having a great time while enjoying amazing clean food. After 3 months of being closed, they're now open for deliveries. Get in touch with them. Order some great food at www.theorganicgrill.com. Listen, while we're at it with the Organic Grill, I was there the other night. Vlad sent me home with some food. This is some Organic Grill. These are, he just texted me. Hold on, I gotta tell you what this is. This is out. You know what this is? This is outrageous. That's what this is. Come on, Vlad. I told him to send me information. He sent me 300 texts. These are no pigs in a blanket. All right, no pigs in a blanket. House-made gluten-free and house-made gluten-free and soy-free veggie sausages wrapped in a puff pastry, brushed with maple, sprinkled with sesame seeds, and baked to golden perfection. Served with your choice of sauce. Yo, these are off the hook, and I will be eating them watching Tom Brady win his next Super Bowl. Also, he also sent me home with this. I'm sure you're wondering what this is. This is a pepper steak sandwich. Say that. Pepper steak sandwich. Hold on. Doing it all here. It's a pepper steak sandwich. Rainbow of roasted bell peppers, mushrooms and onions, melted house-made cheddar cheese, soy cheddar cheese, on a ciabatta roll, served with kraut and a pickle on the side. Organic Grill. That's what I'm eating after this. So, little love for Organic Grill. Also want to shout out New York Hardcore Comics, my original sponsor in this game. New York Hardcore Comics opened back in 2013 when lifelong friends Debo DePro and Lee Fairley combined their collections and obsessions for comic books, punk rock, toys, statues, magic, the gathering, and all things horror. The store is located at 117 Main Street in Dobbs Ferry, New York. If you want to support them during this pandemic, please contact them via email at newyorkhardcorecomics.com. Also, I'm sure you're wondering what's going on here in New York right now. I'm going to show you what's going on here in New York right now. Here's the view out my window. You can see little New York here, huh? Crazy. All right? A little New York, little snow in New York. It's snowing. So that's what's happening. That said, listen, the ORL rant is coming up. That will be at the next break. I know you're all waiting for it. It's just a little snow. Don't be scared. That said, oh, you know what? I want to mention just real quick. There is a Patreon page. You can support this show. I know you are wondering how. Don't be a Hatreon. Join Patreon. I want to thank my latest patrons, Manuel Leston, Marco Alexio, Larry Kelly, SNVW, Trev Heiner, Philip Oki, and Raymond Hogan. Thank you all for supporting me on Patreon. That's how things work around here. The show's free. We want to keep it free. It's free because people support the show. If that makes sense, hallelujah. That said, I want to bring on our guest, today's guest, Jamey Jasta, and a couple special guests. Let me clear the deck. It's a little hectic. Hey, that's the Patreon page. Support the show. All right? What can I say? Other than thank you. Thank you for everybody that supported the show. Hey, let me get Mr. Jamey Jasta back on. Hey, sorry, man.
Oh, no worries. I love Organic Grill. Shout out to Vlad, man. The mac
yeah,
and cheese balls. Oh, my God.
Vlad was giving you mad love the other night. You know what he was going on about?
I love Vlad.
The Jasta pasta.
Yeah, I gotta hit him up. I gotta send him some pasta.
Dude, he was going on and on about it, bro.
I think those no pigs in the blanket. I think if it's gluten-free, soy-free, dairy, I think it's made out of mushrooms. If I'm right, and they're delicious. I think I had them last year. If he was making them last year, but he catered our 25th anniversary show at the Best Buy Theater, and we had everybody backstage. Rob Flynn, John Joseph, obviously, is a big supporter. Everybody was back there eating and then even the like when you get those people that are they don't like the veggie food and they're kind of like standoffish about it. Well, you don't tell them and then they were trying and they were like, this is amazing. Like people were all saying, what is this? What is it? And we're like, yo, that's vegan fucking buffalo cauliflower. And they're like, damn, this shit's fire.
You know what? Hold that thought. I want to bring on a couple of guests here, right? First off, listen, international superstar, Mr. Danny Diablo. What's up, bro?
Yeah, animal.
Also, while we're at it, the big bopper himself, Mr. Hoyer Rock. What's happening?
Oh,
what up?
Yo, Hoyer's skinny. That's skinny. What is going on? Are you keto?
Come on, keto. That keto fantasy. I just fucking count calories, motherfucker.
Excuse me, Cap. When is Hoyer coming out? That's not Hoyer.
Yo, who's the Lebanese guy? Sit and the square next to me.
Who is this guy? Who is this?
Yo, E, I gotta find. Yo, I had E when E posts on Instagram and he'll post like his girl, and then I'll start to get crazy where I want to go to the strip club, and he'll be like, yo, E will post and he'll be like, yo, my girl is hot. Look at this ass. Look, I love strippers. And then I start getting crazy and I think about when we used to go to the strip club. And I'm like, don't go back. I
was tricking this guy just by being on this podcast.
You tricked Drew? What's up?
What, are you drinking?
No.
Yo,
it's seltzer. Please.
Yo, first of all, shout out to your 100th show, Drew. Yo, the big one.
Congrats, Drew.
That's a big number. It's a big number. It's official.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's great. And you guys are listen, man. It's
see now. There's two hardcore guys that they have a working setup with a microphone that works, not like Scott Vocal, not like Carl from Earth Crisis,
right.
With headphones. I mean, geez, see, this is.
Yo, Jasta, I got a question. Right. How many calories does the Jasta pasta have?
Oh, wait a second.
We're gonna talk off screen about that. All right.
Yo, I'm sending you both. I got Randy's pasta coming out. We're gonna do fucking
Randy's pasta. Randy.
Oh yeah, we got Randy's rigatoni next. We're gonna do Danny Diablo's Ditalini.
Oh, that's
the kosher. It gotta be kosher.
Hey.
Yes.
What? That's not kosher.
Yo, we could do it. We could.
I want to say this. I've been, Destroy Everything has been my heavy bag track for working out this week. I knew I was going to come on, so I've been dedicating a fucking couple whacks to Jasta.
Thank you. Respect. That's high praise coming for you. And yo, listen, I did my New York hardcore hardest tracks countdown on my podcast. People have been asking me to put out like a playlist of it, but I gotta say, I had Scarhead on there, I had Crown of Thorns on there, Juggernaut, and the #1 hardest New York hardcore song of all time, Madball, Hold It Down.
Let him know.
Mine would be my favorite Madball.
No, I don't want
song. Listen, it's Pride.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Pride
I'll
is
take that.
hard.
I thought Ezek was gonna say like an AF song right now. But I thought he was
You know
my
mine
favorite
is?
Bible song is
You know what mine is,
Power.
Hoya? Mine's Down by Law.
Yeah, dude, let us
Oh,
know.
yeah. I thought you were
But
going to say
yeah.
Colossal Man. I thought Isaac was going to say Colossal Man.
No. I prefer when Hoy had a mustache in the band back then. When he had the full mustache, he's like 12 years old. He had a full mustache.
Yeah, since it's 2021 now, on the carton of soy milk, of almond milk, they have you seen this mustache?
Oh my God, Hoy, you look fucking great, bro.
Thank you, man. Trying.
Hey Hoya, tell us, is it diet? Are you working out? What's going on over there?
Yeah, nah, just a little of everything. Nothing specific. I just basically started eating clean, and I told myself every day I gotta at least work out a half hour. I gotta move a half hour, and just trying to, being home is easy when you're not on tours where you can't, pick and choose your meals and what you're eating. So I said, fuck it. While I'm home, I'm gonna take advantage of being strict 'cause I got nothing else to do. So I started just working out and eating clean, man, and fucking boredom.
Is it safe to ask how much weight you've lost?
120.
Yeah, you can ask whatever you want. You know what? Over 100 pounds.
Wow!
Wow.
Wow!
I say 120.
That's
But
amazing. Congrats,
you know what it is? I never started with a goal weight. Like I didn't weigh myself. I knew I had to lose weight. What it was mainly, long story short, we talked about it. I'm a single father, and I had to make a power move. It came, reality. My mom's passed, who was the mother of my oldest son. Basically, I said when she passed, I said, okay, I can't leave my son parentless. So I got to do whatever I got to do that I got control of, and that was that. So I thank my mom from the other side, and I thank my sons. But then I just, and I'm glad, it gave me something to do during lockdown, and I feel good and I feel focused. So far so good.
Hey Danny, what's up with you, man? What's the Danny Diablo update?
Man, I'm supposed to go to fucking Wisconsin tomorrow and tonight at 4 a.m. I'm supposed to go Milwaukee to finish the Scarhead EP, Generators of Violence.
It's cold there.
But snowing over here in Jersey, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm focusing on that. And I gotta do like a Danny Diablo Street CD Volume number 3, the Triz with DJ Kaz hosting it. I gotta do the artwork when I'm there. I gotta do a video when I'm there. I gotta paint like 4 canvases for giveaways when I'm there. So I'm looking forward to all that shit. But I'll be away for 4 days, and it'll be cool. I'll be working and just focusing on doing the new Scarhead. I'll probably do I got Joe Fatal coming with me. He's
the infamous Joe Fatal, my man.
He's like an old Jewish lady. Like he's the worst. So I got
shout out to Ruthie.
I got to go in a fight with him, and it's just like, oh my God, it's like an old Jewish lady. It's crazy. So, but he's scratching on one of the Star records, and he's gonna sing backups. So it's cool. You know?
Hey, people are asking about your paintings, Danny. Where can they find them?
Hold on a second. I'm working on this Murder Black one right here.
Oh, that's nice.
I got this one already done. I got 2 more to commission. This one right here, I started like this. This one's going for someone. This one, check this one out. I'm making this one for Scheme, the graffiti artist Scheme. For Star Wars, I'm making this one for him.
I be doodling, yo.
Nice.
Well, this one came out fly too. This was sold also. Hoya.
Nice stuff. Nice stuff.
I'm like the Basquiat of the hardcore scene.
Listen. Hey, Jamie, tell us about how like these guys came into your orbit. I mean, you were up in Connecticut.
Wait. These two? First of all.
No.
First of all, I hope the show.
Both those guys right there are very nice guys, hard workers. I love them to death. But sometimes they know I love hanging out with them, but they can't take me more than fucking like a couple hours a day, probably. Because poor Jasta, became my manager. We did ice pick together. Every kid keeps on asking about the ice pick shit. I'm like, yo, when do you ice pick? I'm like, yo, Jasta wants to run away from that as far as possible.
Yo, we will put it on Spotify. We will do that because we finally got the master. We finally found it.
Records, the vinyl.
Oh yeah. We'll do that too. We'll put it on Spotify and we will get the vinyl too. We finally got the master. Shout out. I gotta shout out Jake Bannon because Jake did this cover and they fucked it up. And we tried to fight the pressing plant. We said, yo, you fucked up the cover. You made it pixelated. This project, and E will vouch for me, everything that could go wrong.
Yo, listen. Tell them the crazy.
Oh my God.
Jasta, poor Jasta would start managing me, and that was
hey, Danny, talk loud. You're low.
Right, hold on. Jasta was managing me, right? So it was an all-time low in his life. So the poor guy, I was like, oh my God, he's my manager when Donnie went to jail. So I was like, I signed by Travis Barker, and we were living the life. Me and Josh were traveling everywhere. Jules Jordan, we had a great time. But
going to Vegas.
But I see that right there. That's an all-time low in both our lives. Right? Now, listen, at one point, Josh after that changed his whole life, and that's why he just went to ice pick. I understand, Josh. So you worked hard, and it's a slippery slope.
But yo, this is the thing. This is how I don't want to say I gotta be careful what I say about the hardcore scene in general. But
fuck that. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
You know, fans can be very fickle, right? And then hindsight. Hindsight is 2020. When the record came out, people didn't even. And then we had
no one cared, remember?
Yep, and we had this whole debacle with Target where the sticker remember the sticker because Arlovsky was supposed to come out to the song, so we said, oh, it features the Arlovsky theme song, whatever. But then Arlovsky lost, and so the sticker was technically a lie. So Target was like, yo, you got to take the stickers off, but the sticker was covering up the fucked up cover. And then we were arguing with the pressing plant because we pressed way too many fucking CDs, and the pressing plant was like, yo, you got to fucking pay. And we were like, fuck you fucked up the cover. And they sent they sent Russian leg breakers, like 7-foot tall guys to the office. Yo, we shut that shit down.
To what office? Stillborn?
Yeah.
I worked in the office every day with Jasta, and he'd be like, oh, I want to show you the songs. And 4 months passed by, all of a sudden, he goes, we got to record right now. I was like, what the fuck? Didn't hear no songs, nothing. Nothing. And poor Zeus, I walked in, it was a snowstorm. 4 hours I drove up there, wherever, I forgot where it was. But I walked in, and it was weird. It was snowing, but it was like all of a sudden, like it was like summer the next day. So everything was melting. So I walked into the vocal booth, and on the microphone was a hornet, a big hornet sitting there.
A murder hornet.
That was the whole. That was like how the ice pick was. That hornet on that microphone.
Jamie, excuse me. Tell me how these guys came into your orbit. How did you meet up with these guys? You're raised it. You're born and raised up there in Connecticut. How the hell did these guys come on your radar?
Fresh air fun.
So he would come and they would come and be on shows. I would book the shows. Doesn't remember. Was wiling out. Doesn't remember.
Oh, I remember a few people I stepped to go out there.
Yeah.
First time out there.
But Brewster, New York. Remember Cro-Mags with the lineup with John, Nikki. What was it? Nikki
X.
Yep. Who didn't he break his neck at our show?
And I broke his head.
You were like,
not only did he
yeah.
break his neck at your show, but Isaac broke.
Yeah,
his
then
neck.
he broke.
I beat the shit out of him. Yo, Hoya, remember? I beat him with Darryl.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yo, listen, Hoya. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a story about Hoya right here. As a friend, I look at Hoya as a friend to help me out. So something happened, and I go, Hoya. I didn't beat him down that bad. And Hoya turned around and said, nigga, you fuck that nigga up. I'm like, yo, take my back, nigga. Yo, everyone think, yo, you were like, yo, I wouldn't say that.
I'm an American like George Washington. I cannot tell a lie.
Do you remember when we met Fat Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were at Fat Joe was going on TRL.
Yeah.
And then you came up, right? And we either just finished taping Headbangers or we were about to tape, right? So we met Fat Joe. Fat Joe was mad cool. He had the 95 chain on or whatever. But do you remember when we put out the record?
Yeah.
People, it was right at the start of the politically correct shit where people don't understand that we've all worked like minimum wage jobs.
Yeah.
We can talk about race. We can talk about we know Asian people, black people, Hispanic people, Jewish people, but if the word the now I can't say it, but you could say it, right? But Fat Joe was going through this. Remember when people were saying, yeah, people they were getting on Fat Joe about saying the N-word. Do you remember this?
Puerto Ricans say N-word, bro.
Yes. And so when Fat Joe saw Isaac, Fat Joe saw him, and it was like animals, like when they were like they saw that they were like two maniacs, and he's like, yeah, what's up? He knew, like they had the Puerto Rican like connection. It had like a mental connection, and it was like real recognizes real. That was part of the inspiration for the song. Like anywhere we would go, dudes would be like, oh yeah, that's what's up. But there's, out of anybody that came up to TRL, 2 guys come with no security. The only 2 rappers I've ever seen come with no security, Fat Joe and Ghostface.
Oh wow.
That's so.
I worked with Fat Joe back in the day. We did a video. Remember the Youngsters? The Youngsters?
Yeah.
We did the Youngsters video, Wild Child, featuring Fat Joe. So back in that original run that we did, Biohazard, Typo Negative,
the black
all that.
whites.
We did the Youngsters, Wild Child, featuring Fat Joe.
Yo, Drew, real quick, I give you a Jasta story real quick, early Jasta. I don't know exactly when we met, but he used to book our early shows in Connecticut. He was booking all shows, and he was younger than us, so he was a young kid booking shows. I just remember one of these shows we played, and we had a good turnout, we bonus, and this is how I knew this motherfucker was a hustler, and I knew that, at least he was down for the people in the trenches, because I remember he was like, yo, we had a booking agent, whoever it was at the time, this was mad years ago, and he looks at me and he's like, you guys bonus. Now, I'm telling you guys bonus. We don't got to tell other people they bonus. We took care of him, and everybody had a good night that night. And then I was like,
fair person, great hustler. Like some people, people always, Jasta made, I seen Jasta make the turn in his life was like, I gotta be this way to be successful, and I was like, some people are like, why is he acting like the I'm like, yo, bro, I watch Jasta all the time, and first of all, he's the greatest person, but he talks to people. But I seen Jasta at fucking Ozfest get bombarded by fucking like Slayer retards, like help me, like I hold him, take him out. It's like, I'm like, yo, bro, I couldn't do it. I would kill these motherfuckers.
Yo, Jamey,
I love you guys. I love you.
Jamey, and this is a fact, and we're telling you right now, live on the New York Hardcore Chronicles, because you got anybody who matters right here. Whenever you got to talk shit about what's real, about these fake motherfuckers in the scene, you talk that shit, because guess what? You did more for 99% of the hardcore bands than some of these old school motherfuckers that talk that shit. That's just a fact. That's just a fact.
Thank you, Hoya. I love you, brother.
It's true, man. A lot of these, hold on, a lot of these people, I'm gonna jump in on here. A lot of these old school cats are so busy going on about back in the day this and back in the day that, and I was there and you weren't, and this and that they haven't let out a fart in 20 years. They're still talking about they did this 20 years ago and blah 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 blah. And come on now. It's about what you're doing today and what you're going to do tomorrow. And there's a lot of that in hardcore. People like to rest on their laurels and talk about, don't you know what my band did 30 years ago? We played my mother's garage.
It's like Married with Children. We talked about being a football star in high school.
It's or like a basketball scholarship.
Glory days.
Wait, stop. Hey, listen.
No, I was just talking okay, that's another story.
Hey, so Hoya, can we say who it was?
Let's say who it was. Talk that shit, Jasta.
We'll say sorry, Finberg.
Sorry. Listen, we want to know, but a fact is a fact.
Jackson Hoya, fucking deadly.
Listen, you know that. That's the fucking straight. We spit jugulars, but you know why? Again, we don't hide. We're always around. Everybody here, we still, we're involved in the scene. We fucking, we're part of the scene. We give to the scene so we can talk shit about our scene. These other motherfucking dudes like that, those guys got no part of this world.
As much as people,
I gotta throw the flag. I want to do something here. Hey, Sid, are you with us? Sid the Kid. Hey, what's up, Sid?
Sid, what up?
Okay,
guys, how you doing?
Hey, I want to do something with you guys. All right?
Yo, Sid the Kid, you look like a Cuban Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh boy! Hey, we're gonna do album of the week with you guys. All right? Can you guys handle this? We're gonna do album of the week. You ready, Sid?
Waiting for you, Drew.
All right, here we go. This is album of the week. Now let Sid do his thing, Danny. Before you fucking jump all over. Give this motherfucker a second. All right. Here we go. Album of the week. Sid the Kid, take it away.
All right, guys. So for the 100th episode, special. And today is that landmark episode. And obviously what you're looking at here is Obituary's fourth album entitled World Demise. This came out, I believe they were recording this in, late 83 up until early 84. Was released on September 6, 1994. Recorded at Morrisound Studios in Tampa, Florida. Scott Burns and the band obviously produced this. And, for a lot of people who don't know, this was also released on Roadrunner. And at the time, you got to figure back in 93, 94, you had VOD, you had Biohazard, Suffocation, Typo, Madball, Sepultura, Fear Factory, Deicide. That list is so fucking long, but this record here, it shows. Now, when this is the first time I believe in over 20 years I listened to this record. Originally, I did have to do some of my homework on it, thinking, it's going to be like a death metal record. Nothing comes close to this. You want to get a true metalcore influence, you can listen to this record and it speaks volumes upon it.
Did you say they recorded this in 83?
No. 93. From 93. From late 93 to early 94, they recorded this record. Right. And honestly, like I said before, guys, this record to me is a metalcore record. It's not, a death metal record. It's not a hardcore record. It's just in the middle. But even so, there's the last track of the album is some really weird tribal primal chant shit on there too, which I don't remember. But just overall, the record's really good. And for those who have not heard this record, don't give it a listen. I really do recommend it.
Okay, so that said,
that shit's hard.
Hoya
has to get credit.
First. Hoya, you go first. Talk about this record a little bit. This band.
What is that?
That's the back of the record. That's like a dump in oil.
Obituary. They're like they're the Oxford Celtic cross. You know what I mean? It was that cross between that hardcore shit and that thrash shit. You know what I mean? Listen, there was two metal bands back in the day where you see the skins at, and that was Slayer and Obituary. And that said enough. It resonated with everybody. And shout out to those guys. Those guys are still fucking killing, man. Shout out to all the and fucking Priest, Frankie, T-Bone,
T-Bone.
all the boys.
Rest in peace, Frankie. When
Yeah,
Obituary
rest in
played
peace,
at the
Frank.
Limelight, I was giving out flyers, and back in the day when I used to give out flyers outside the Limelight or outside of CB's, a lot of dudes and bands would throw the flyer down, but Frankie took the flyer and actually like
He's a
read
good
it. I
guy.
always thought that was cool. You know, he was like, "All right,
Frankie
on,
was
man,
a
cool, I'll
hardcore
check it
guy.
out." Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what, Jamey? It's interesting what we remember from back then, right?
For sure, yeah. You know, if you see a guy like, I won't say what band, but you know,
Say
give him
no,
a
fuck that,
flyer.
Jamie. It's 100 show. Say that shit.
Say that shit, bro.
No, listen. We were keeping it positive, but you guys, first of all, Madball, Scarhead, Crown of Thorns, Agnostic Front, so many great New York hardcore bands. There's a reason why people still love them and the catalogs hold up, is because everybody, not only the performances were incredible, but it's the character, it's the spirit of it, right? Like we don't have the same characters, the true authentic people who they are, where it bleeds onto the record. There's a lot of bands that maybe they got signed or they got big, but it wasn't real, it wasn't authentic.
Yeah,
And then
it's a lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
lifestyle.
when I would book these guys shows and they would come up, they would leave everything on the stage and people would lose their minds. I remember when Kings at Crime came out and we booked the show and the whole crowd is going, KAC, no competition. Once again, we're on a motherfucker. And it's a collective consciousness, right? It's like people know they're listening to the record, they're waiting for the show all week. They come, they pay their money, they come in, they lose their mind. It's a positive release of aggression. Just like when Freddie got out and we did the Hold It Down shows. And that record would have been huge if they pushed it, like if Epitaph pushed it. Now I could say, because you know, back then it was like we got to be politically correct. Like, yo, yeah, you'll push all this other bullshit, but you don't push the fucking hardest record out. They make excuses, but it didn't matter because the kids supported it. The kids knew, oh, Madball is back, and they listened to the songs all week. That helps them get through the fucking 9 to 5 through the bullshit.
How crazy is that these kids, people all over the world, call me, Hoy up, and you, Jasta, and tell us that like our music's like really like keeps them alive, changed their life, and I'm like, damn, I'm like, yo, there's nothing like. Sometimes I really want to quit this shit and be like, fuck it, get a regular job, have a security, do 9 to 5. Then all of a sudden, that's like, why am I doing this? Then that one person DMs me a message like, hey, your music has kept me alive. I start I don't want to stop suicide. I'm like, holy shit! I talk about suicide, how my affected my life, my brother, and he talked to me about it, man. It's like I open up to a lot of my fans, and it's like hardcore music that I can make fun of hardcore all the time. We always make fun of it. We make fun of all the retards in our scene, but I'm saying like it's at least it's our retards. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I love. You know what I mean?
Yep, I love that. That's a great point, because that positivity that keeps us going, and it'll be someone in Philippines or Russia or South Africa, and that it travels, and we don't need the labels, we don't need the fucking corporate sponsors.
No more gatekeepers. I mean,
yes.
Over, right? So you're right, bro. It's just funny that Hoy and I, like, we came into the scene that we're like. We like fuck. We weren't like, yo, we're gonna do bands. It just happened. We didn't like.
Yeah. It just comes. It's part of the breathing in this world, which is what we do, and and it is what it is. I don't know how guys fall off. It's like how you fall off. We talk about it all the time. How you fall off on what you are. This is what we are. You can't get out of your soul. You know what I mean? You don't just lose your soul. You don't go to every show, but it's like. There's some people that are again, they're lifers. We were made for this shit, if we like it or not. Look at Drew. How many guys in your era, Drew, that are no longer here? 9 out of 10 of them.
Yeah, and people get hate on Drew because
I can count on two hands the guys. I can count on two hands the guys that when I came in are really still in the game. Roger, Jimmy, Harley. I got to give it to Harley. There's a lot of people.
A handful of guys.
A handful of guys, man. You know.
And Drew, you know who the guys and the guys that are progressive are the guys that didn't shit on the new school, who were us at one point, who didn't shit on us or hate on us, and say, you know what? Let me see what these kids are about. And you know what? Like he says it a lot of times, and it's just a fact. It got to a point where you either had to get with it or get left behind. That's what happened. Evolution. You know what I mean? And we were the new, not me, but all of us, that generation, we're all part of the newer generation that, like, us, the Jastas, the Ezeks, you know, from your era, we would carry on what you guys had. But you know what I mean? It's like, hey, Sid.
Hey,
hold on. I got to let Sid. Hey, Sid, thank you, bro. I'm sorry the horses got out of the corral.
I'm being entertained by all this myself, you know.
Sid, thank you. I'll see you in a minute, Sid. All right, go ahead.
Drew, check this out. A lot of people don't understand. Like, they look at me and Hoyer, but me and Hoyer are best friends. Like, we are friends. We might not talk all the time, but best friends. A lot of people in Europe, like, so you guys went to shows and just we're best friends. Like, it's like everything's natural to us. Like, it's friendship first. It's like, listen, I'm me, whatever I am. I will never not be me. Like, Drew, like, I can walk outside and like, Drew, remember fucking Long Island? The guy was talking shit. And I was like, hold on 1 second. But that's me.
I'm sitting right there. I'm sitting right there. I'm sitting right there, and you come out and you smack the taste out of this kid's mouth.
Drew, like, you're over there. He's talking back shit. I said, hold on. He's like, what? I said, what? Smack that nigga. Drew looked at me like, what are you doing?
The fuck are you doing? I got a show to play.
Yo, Drew.
And then you had to take your girl and run off because the kid started crying.
And Drew, and real quick, I want to say my one last thing, especially about these two guys here, and I really mean this. The ASPCA and PIA owe these guys an award. Okay, let me just say that. Okay, they should have an award for these guys for all the work and all the things they've done for animal care throughout the years. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Hoya, what's going on with this, man? What's going on with this?
Nothing. Grinding. We got more podcasts, merchandise coming. We're working on a new Madball album. So just trying to stay busy, everybody. Jasta, you know what's up. You coming up next. And fucking Ezek has been flaking, so he's gonna get pushed to the end of the line. But listen, a lot of new merch, a lot of new Madball, a lot of new podcasts.
Don't worry, Hoyer. Don't worry.
Yo, both of you got to come on my show. Not this week, but the following week. Both of you guys got to come on. We're gonna come on.
Good luck, bro.
Yo,
good luck with that, buddy boy.
What's up with that, Hoyer?
I like that.
Oh shit!
Hey, Danny.
I know you try to get that shit from my arm. Yo, Hoyer,
the horses are out of the corral.
Drew, take this out. You know what Hoyer did to me in fucking my head? He went to my manager and got he ordered clothing from my manager and that didn't tell me.
Listen.
To his house.
Wait, hold up. Am I gonna call him and like he's actually gonna say, okay, Hoyer, give me your address. I'm gonna get a package sent to you.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Good call.
I'm not new to this shit. I even told him. Drew, I wrote him back. I go, yeah, I went right to him because I knew you would forget.
Oh my God. Hey, Danny, you want to push anything on the way out here?
I want to say that the new Scarhead record is going to be on Force 5 Records called EP called Generators of Violence. I got Spick. My group Spick with Joe Fano and Big Lito. We have an album coming out on Devil Rats Records from Paris, France. We can put out 10-inch also, 4 songs. And also, I got the Street CD volume number 3, The Triz, coming out on Force 5 Records.
Fantastic.
Yo, listen, hey. I was just plowing snow, and I have a hardcore playlist on, you know, like on the phone, on the Apple or whatever, the iTunes. I have the playlist, right? And both of you, it's so funny because both of your bands came up, but yo, this This track came up. It was hard. Danny Diablo, gonna burn it down. Yo, that shit. That shit is.
You see what?
Yo, he goes. I'm a lord of the underground, getting down. Yo, I was snowing. I was plowing snow, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta.
But what's harder, that or that Integrity song, the one that? Okay, no, forget it.
Oh, those are your listens.
All right, hey, listen, Hoya, Danny, I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yo, I love you guys.
Congratulations for your 100th episode.
Love you, Josh.
Love you, David.
Yo, I love you, E.
Yo, Jasta, what up, bro? Everybody, Drew, congratulations. We love you.
We love you.
Both of you guys better come on the podcast.
Love you, Drew. 100 show. Love you, Josh. I love you.
Love you, E. That was awesome. Thank you, Drew. That was awesome, man. Great surprise. I got to get both of them on my show because it's been a minute for both of them. Oh, I forgot to. I should have said to E too. We got to go get steak. Because I've been with vegans. No, sorry. Don't edit that out because if John, Joseph, or Vlad are watching.
No editing out. It's live, bro. You're fine.
I know.
Hey, so listen, let's jump back in. Frank Nichols says, shout out from Philly. Been a diehard since 97 in the Troc shows. I was thinking any chance we could get a Hatebreed doc, get deep about the albums, live shows in between, or one on Mabel or Biohazard. Yo, I just want to say this. Yo, if you're ever thinking about doing a Hatebreed doc, I'm your man.
You're the man. You're the man. For sure. Yeah, you know what? Because your preparation, organization, and execution is needed for that type of thing, because when it comes to like getting like the negative of the photo from this back of this record or whatever, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going into storage rooms looking for this shit. It's not archived correctly. I've started to do some of that because we have the 25th anniversary of Under the Knife coming up. And we're doing another collaboration with this flannel company, Dix, and we're doing the Under the Knife.
That. Yo, I saw those were dope, man. You sold out already. I was looking at your 300 pages of merch today, dude.
I'll send you one. I saved a couple to send out, but we're doing an Under the Knife one next for the 25th anniversary. And I was thinking, oh, it would be cool to show how this weird little $100 recording got assigned, sold like, I mean, it was insane. It sold like 60 or
hey, I want to do it, man.
70,000.
I want to do it. And you know me, bro. It ain't about the money. I could care less about it, about money. You know, it's like, I mean, I shouldn't say that as I'm hustling, as I try to, hey, join Patreon. I don't give a shit about money. But, you know, when it comes to art like that, you know, I follow where it goes, and it always works out in the end, man. You know what I mean?
You're totally.
You know, so
one thing we could do to save too, I was thinking about this, was if we re-record everything when we're out of a deal,
right?
We can own the masters, and we don't have to hit up Universal for permission, hit up whoever owns whatever company that, like Hasbro owns fucking we won't even get into that, but you know what I mean? If we, because we can.
I never even thought of this until just now. So let's break bread over this, man. I'll come up your way, you know, one of these days, and we'll sit down in the backyard, you know, or something, and let's break bread and talk about it. This is I'd love to work with you, man. I'd love to do it.
That would be great, and I would love it too, man. Because again, I don't have the archiving of everything is something that I will take baby steps with and figure out. Like I did about 10 years ago, I did archiving of all the flyers and all the original flyers. Like when I used to cut out the letters, or I would, you know, stencil the letters myself for all the old flyers. So, and I know a lot of these documentaries, you show the old flyers, right? You edit them in and stuff. So
of course,
I did archive all the old tour itineraries, like the first, like opening for Sheer Terror, opening for Sepultura, opening for Danzig. I archived that stuff, but the video stuff, the conversion of the VHSs, the conversion of the ADAT tapes. What was the other thing? What was that little disc? That weird little mini.
A round disc?
Yeah, we had those cameras for a minute. The
You know what I
conversion.
have? You know, I didn't have the time to I didn't have the time to dig it out, but I have a VHS tape that has a bunch of bands on it and your name on it. Like you when you were tape trading VHS
Yep.
tapes and I have a VHS that you gave me probably in 96 or 90, God knows when. Yo, and it says Jamey Jasta and your phone number on it, bro.
Yeah.
That's going back that far, bro. Going back
Yeah.
that far. But yo, I have all the stuff here. Yo, people give me VHSs and I digitize them, I transfer them. And you're right about the preparation thing. It's like when I speak to film students and kids and stuff like that, and they ask me about sort of, you know, how I do it. Pre-production is big in my world. Everything like this show. I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning setting the show up today. Like it's all about pre-production. It's like when we used to do the music videos back in the day. People would say, yo, I want your job, because I'd be just standing around doing nothing. Why was I standing around doing nothing? Because I just spent 3 weeks putting every single detail in place and then thinking about the contingency if something happened this way or that way. So by the time it was the day of the shoot, it looked like I was just sort of wandering around like doing nothing, but it was very far from that.
Yeah, and the delegation, right?
Delegate responsibility. That's big. I'm big on that.
To the right people who aren't gonna let you down and who aren't gonna take advantage of you or mess up a situation or mess up a relationship. You know, that middle management that's something that's big in filmmaking, right? Who's gonna transfer all these? Who's gonna mark the time code of these shows? Who's gonna get the clearance of these logos or blur out these logos or whatever? And
I'm a musical pervert.
Well, also, I think when you got the film on Netflix, when you got Alago's film on Netflix, because you had all original music in there, you didn't have to clear.
Well, everything has to be cleared on Netflix. Everything, every photograph, every piece of music, every fart, everything. So that's a different.
But it wasn't major label stuff, right? So you didn't have to clear with the labels. Well,
I wanted to make a film that was going to come out. I've seen enough people make films and put, you know, Jimi Hendrix music in their film. I was determined to make a film that's going to get done and come out. So instead of putting Metallica music in it, I put in, you know, Generation Kill music in it or Borgo Pass, you know. So I didn't put music in that was going to be problematic. Right off the bat, I went for bands and people we know that wanted to be a part of the project.
That's great, man. Yeah, I noticed that when I watched it. I was like, oh, that's smart, because then you're limiting the amount of red tape.
Yeah.
But I know just from recently having to do things, you know, in more of a I call it like a 360 type of vibe, like where you have to do the art for a project, but you also have to write for it. You also have to send in all the credits. I've worked on projects like where I'm executive producing a record or executive producing a project where I'm doing all that stuff behind the scenes. And I think, okay, yeah, next time I have to delegate this out. Next time I have to delegate this out. Next time, pay a little money, take some money out of the budget and pay someone to archive this correctly.
Delegating responsibility is a big thing, man. You know, you can't do, I mean, you can do it all yourself, but you'll never transcend that level. You know, delegating responsibility is big, unless you're doing a knucklehead show like me with a bunch of guys that do it on their fucking phones and have the bunch of fucking guys that do it on the goddamn phones, right? So, hey, I got to one last shout out sponsors, including ORL. And then let's come back and take some questions, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, here we go, yo. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles film. Excuse me. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles live. Woo! Lot of moving parts today. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, Your Core Hardcore fan page, DTFM Vinyl Distribution, and you asked for it, you got it, ORL Non-Toxic Oral Care. ORL is a non-toxic oral care brand that is paraben-free, alcohol-free, gluten-free, vegan, cruelty-free. Yo, this shit is cruelty-free. Unless, of course, you want to take one of these glass bottles to the hardcore show and smash some motherfucker over the head with it. They produce 3 different types of products. Their products promote a perfect 7.0 pH balance, are formulated with organic vitamins and minerals, strengthen and restore tooth enamel, are naturally flavored with plant-based organic essential oils like tea tree oil, coconut oil, and peppermint oil, are housed in eco-friendly glass containers. Check out ORL at www.orlcares.com and at ORL_cares at Instagram. And all you CBD lovers, check out their other site at www.orlcbd. Make sure to use the code NYHC and get 20% off your order. 20% off with New York Hardcore. Here's my real pitch, though. This is the real Drew Stone pitch. Listen, you friggin' animals, you Neanderthals, you guys out there going to these hardcore shows, your breath stinks. Help me help you. It's not too late. Nobody wants to kiss a guy whose breath friggin' stinks. I know what you do. I've done it too. You go to the CVS, you go to the Walmart, you go in, you go, you know what, I got to get some mouthwash. You go in, you go to the mouthwash aisle, oral care aisle, and you go for the Listerine, but then you go, hey, you know what? CVS brand of cheap shit. I think I'll just get that. It's cheaper. You know what? That's dog piss. You're putting dog piss in your mouth. It's friggin' disgusting. You're washing your mouth out with dog piss. And then what? Who wants to kiss you, bro? This is the product for you. ORL. It ain't cheap, but it's really great. Also, for the mask breath, we all get that mask breath these days. Let's say you got on your Dr. No mask, you know, and you're like, damn, my breath stinks. This is the product for you, ORL. Help me help you. Listen, this zombie apocalypse isn't going to last forever. Next time I see you, I don't want to smell your stinking breath, you animal. ORL for you. Okay? Yeah, it's mask breath. That's what listen, I got to shout out my sister because my sister's the one that hooked me with ORL. She works with them. So it's a little bit of a family thing here. Look, they got a kid's toothpaste, a kid's mouthwash, bubble gum. Yo, you know your kid, listen, you got a problem with your kid doesn't want to brush its teeth. You put this in front of them, believe me, they're going to brush their friggin' teeth. Even this, I'm a big boy now, cinnamon. It is yummy. Okay, that said, what else? Feeling a little hot under, yes. Gargling with dog piss ain't hardcore. Exactly. There you go, Jill. Help me help you. Can you please show how to? That will be the next show. Slay that dragon. Absolutely. Honestly, who doesn't care about oral? Everybody loves oral. Who loves oral? Raise their hand. Anyway. I call them dog shit breath. Best old school radio ads. We do it old school here. We do it a little old school. That said, I want to mention a couple things. Enough of that. We had a lot of fun with ORL. We'll keep them around a little bit. Have a couple of laughs. Let me clear the deck a little bit. I want to talk to you about something real quick before we bring Jamey Jasta back on. Get your questions together. It's almost question time. I want to mention this to you. Hello, my name is Drew. I want to mention this to you. On Saturday, February 20th, on Gimme Metal Station, you download the app on your phone. Hold on. Close the friggin' window here. On Gimme Metal, I am hosting a screening of the New York Hardcore Chronicles film. There will be a Q&A after the screening. I will be in the chat room during the course of the film, doing a running commentary. After the film, a Q&A. Before that, for 2 hours, starting at 1 p.m. East Coast time, I am doing a hardcore DJ set. I will be, listen, I can't play music on this show. We get flagged for copyright violations. I'm going to play all the music that influenced me, that we talk about on the show. Getting the playlist together now, it's going to be a blast. So come tune in, 2 hours of music and me doing stuff in between, talking about the music that inspired me as a juvenile delinquent and has influenced me to this day as a psychotic adult. So that's happening on Saturday, February 20th. Please tune into that. Want to mention a couple of upcoming shows on Wednesday, March 3rd from Life of Agony. We have Joey Z coming on the show. Check that out. Mr. Joey Z playing the Flying V. And then we just announced this the other day. Our friend from The Lewd, who also appears in my film, Who the Fuck Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alago. From The Lewd and Metal Church, Mr. Kurt Vanderhoof is going to be on the show. Vanderhoof. So check that out. So there you go. That said, also I want to mention real quick, I know you have already, there's the Instagram, Stone Films NYC. Follow me on Instagram. I would appreciate that. Any questions, any real questions you want to get to the front of the line, there's a super chat there. Spend $2 or $5 to get right to the front of the line. We'll ask Jamey a question. I just want to make sure I got everything here. This is the 100th show. Could you believe it? 100 shows. Went fast. 100 shows in 10 months. It's actually been more than 100 shows because we did a couple of bonus shows. I did my thanks. New York Hardcore Chronicles Live merch link is under there. Look for the link. If you're watching this in a rerun, there is a subscribe button right there. Please subscribe to my Stone Films NYC YouTube page so you get alerts when the next show is. I want to shout out Upstate Rick and his New York Hardcore Chronicles Live comments crew page. I want to shout out all the gals on the Women of the Pit on Facebook. Go check them out. All the old school people that jumped on board. Daisha, Lori Dawn, Chris Hoffman, Vinny Doak, all you people. Thank you so much for getting the ball rolling with the show. I think that's it. I think I got it covered. Let me bring Jamey back on. Let's go do some questions with him. Post them up. I know people asked questions early on, but post them up again. Here he is, our guest for today, who I asked about. I did all my homework for 6 hours today and asked about 3 questions off it.
That's how it goes. That's the same with my show.
You know?
Because I didn't even get to tell Isaac and Hoya my stigma story that I thought they would love.
You know, you and I should just do like a 10-part series, and like that'll cover everything.
Yeah, because and shout out to Stigma. I love Stigma. Send my love to Stigma. Dude, this was so funny. We were in Europe, and do you remember the band Poison the Well?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so I was wearing their shirt or no. I remember what it was. We were talking about the tour with them, and we had someone who was with us, I think, who had worked for them or whatever. And Stigma kept going, I don't like that. I don't like that. And we're like, no, they're great guys. What do you mean? He's like, I don't like, it doesn't sound right. I don't think it's cool. We're like, what do you mean, dude? they're great. They're nice guys. They're from Florida, whatever. Nah, fuck that. I don't like that. And then so later on in the tour, we were talking about him again. You know, the name came up again, and he's like, I don't get it. What did the Whale ever do to them? What? And we go, wait, what are you talking? He said, poison the Whale. Well, I don't get it. Why the fuck you got to poison the Whale? What did he ever do to you? And we're like, no. The well. Poison the well. Oh my God. So I wanted to tell that story to them, but we need to have a whole, like, I told this to Stigma last time he was on my show. I said, we need to do a whole show with you where you just comment on like World Star videos and video, like viral videos, but Stigma commenting on that. That would be huge.
Here's okay, Keith Frank, nothing but love and respect for Hatebreed, QE2. Oh, that's an oldie, but a goodie. QE2, Valentine's, Saratoga winners, so many good memories, and they have always been cool dudes down to earth. I mean, can you give us a quick little take? I mean, that was a hot spot for everybody for a while there. Saratoga winners, Valentine's. Any memories of playing in that Albany area?
Yeah, the Albany doesn't get enough love as a scene in general. All of the bands, Ted, all the clubs. It's really, I mean, you want to talk about a great documentary. This was, you know what Albany was? It was like everybody could play their instruments. They had good gear. They all wrote really good songs. Like the demos were better quality. They just cared about the product. Like I remember Section 8 had a nice CD with a full cover. It was like we were impressed, like a full color cover with like good art, and you go, wow, and it sounded good. Good records. One King Down, the first demo with the original singer, they had a cardstock cover, the clear tape with real printing on it. It wasn't like us, we would write the fucking label on the tape.
No, Xerox it.
Yeah. But yeah, and then all the great amazing shows, driving up, crashing my car on the way down, way home on Route 8 in the snow.
I loved Saratoga Winners, man. That room. I saw some great shows in there. I love that room. Really was. I love it. I mean, so many crush. You know. I mean, to bring it up again, Biohazard used to smush it in that room, man.
Oh yeah. You shout out to God, what was the owner's name?
The Indian dude. The Indian dude.
Yeah. Shout out to
Bob Riley, you're watching. What was the Indian dude?
Oh my God. Why I was just talking about him too. His name's right on the tip of my tongue.
It was two brothers, right?
Yes, and I had to pay for the front window. I threw a chair through the front window one night, wasted, with Frank, because Frank was fucking with me playing this game Snaps. It was driving me crazy, and I got mad.
Patel, is that right?
Patel? No,
Patel.
Shoot, what was his name?
No,
God, I'm gonna remember as soon as we stop. But I got concussed during Marauder at Saratoga Winners. I was moshing so hard, and I got like kicked or punched right in the temple.
Oh,
I woke up, and everybody lifted me up. I woke up. And I just remember thinking, this was the best show ever. Okay, just so hard. Fucking life is pain. It was like, it was worth getting concussed.
Here's a question from our resident historian, Chucky Brown. He says, in 1998, Southwest, they played to one person in the crowd, and that person ended up being their lawyer, who I believe is also White Stripes manager. Can he speak on that?
Yeah, Ian Montone. That's true. Do you remember the band Screw with a K?
Yeah.
They were on Metal Blade. They were like, oh, do a showcase with Screw. We thought, oh, they're on Metal Blade. Yeah, they were kind of like an industrial. I think they were kind of industrial. So they said, yo, you're going to open for them. I don't think they were really booked or if they were booked, they were playing after us, and there was literally no one there, and it was off the strip. It wasn't down by emos and everything. It was out at this other place, I think the Back Room, which was kind of out on the outside of town.
Here it is. I'm sorry. Salam.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ralph. Shout out to Ralph.
Shout out to Ralph.
What's up, Ralph?
Yep. Here you go. Cheers, Ralph. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, so yeah, that and then that deal, wasn't the greatest deal, but whatever. You sign it, you got to deal with it. But yeah, shout out to Ian. I got to get him on my podcast at some point if he's still in the industry. I think he still does manage Jack White.
Here's a good one from Ricky Varger, who says, aside from Castle Heights, aka Castle Fights, what were one of the earliest shows Hatebreed played in the 5 boroughs?
Oh, so many. I mean, when you live in Connecticut, you always hear people like, oh, I'm going to Boston for school, or I'm going to New York for a job, or you hear about people getting successful moving to New York. Oh, I'm moving into New York City to be in entertainment, or whatever. So that you would always hear, oh, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I think that's a pretty known saying, right? If you can win the love of a New York audience, you can win a love of the audience anywhere. But so because it was hard, I would get the Village Voice at this place, News Haven in New Haven, Connecticut, and I would call every club, every number, every day. And I would do it from a payphone with this thing called a dialer, because my grandfather said you can't run up the bill. And the
thing you hold to the phone,
and it makes the noise of the quarter.
Yeah.
Right. Statute of limitations is up, right? So this, or they'll probably change it, right? And they'll try to collect on all the calls like they're doing on traffic tickets now.
Right.
But my grandfather was like, you can't be running up the phone. And I had to pay this crazy phone bill. And then I got a line, and then I couldn't pay the bill because I was calling all these promoters. So the line got turned off. And once you fuck with the phone company, they won't give you another line. You know what I mean? So I had to use this dialer, and I was calling all these clubs, and I noticed that the ones that were either in Newark or Portchester or the Bronx or Staten Island or Queens, those promoters would be more apt to call you back, or at least give you a shot. Like, how many people can you bring? I could bring 40 people. Like the guy, I forget his name now, at 7 Willow Street in Portchester, but I said, well, we're right from New Haven.
That in a minute. 7 Willow Street. Wow.
That was a place where there was kids. There was Westchester County kids.
Yeah.
Maybe they couldn't get all the way into the city, or maybe they didn't have enough gas money to come up to Connecticut for a show. But if you played at 7 Willow Street, they would come and dance and have a good time and rep hard for Hatebreed. So it was like, yeah, we bring 40 kids. Next time you hopefully bring 60. Next time you bring 90. I mean, we played a show at 7 Willow Street, Napalm Death, Sick of It All, Hatebreed, At the Gates, and Sub-Zero. I mean, that show, if we did Napalm Death, Sick of It All, Hatebreed, At the Gates, Sub-Zero right now at like Hammerstein Ballroom, we'd probably sell it out.
You guys, I mentioned this on another show, and this they weren't really in my sort of wheelhouse a little bit, but you guys always loved Napalm Death, bro.
Oh, so hard. You gotta listen.
You guys always loved them, man.
Oh, and they still bring it on every album hard. You gotta one of the best early sort of kind of chugga type of breakdowns in death metal is Napalm Death, Mass Appeal, Madness. And it's like, and he does it's one of the early blueprints of some really serious, hard, slow shit. It's not all grind, you know.
Hey, I got a friend of ours wants to come on.
Shout out to Keith. Shout out to everybody in Albany, upstate, Capital Region.
You know what? I'm going to blow everybody's eardrums out with this one. It's time for
Ragbone!
What's up?
What's up, Jamey?
Ragbone, stage diving off my back porch. See,
what's that story? What's that story?
Can I just say one thing? You guys got lucky staying with because my stepmom, shout out to my stepmom, Kathy, she really helped us out when we were kids, helped my father out when he was getting out of the VA. My father met this wonderful woman, married her. She's just a beautiful person, gave us this opportunity to move out of the city into the suburbs and actually have our like own bedrooms, a pool to swim in.
That's nice.
And so you guys, you saw like Earth Crisis in the early days. They saw the crackhead uncle, rest in peace. I shouldn't say that, but
Right.
you know, my uncle Paulie, my other uncle Mike, who's worked at Sally's Pizza, made the sauce for 45 years. If anybody wants to go to Sally's Pizza in New Haven, Connecticut, I'm not a Pepe's guy. Sally's for life. But Earth Crisis, Cold as Life, bunch of bands had stayed at the old apartment above my grandparents. Rat Bones, when Cold as Life came back through, he got to stay up in the suburbs with us. It was a little bit nicer when and my stepmom, think about how crazy she was.
You're lucky
to
you
let
out of the house.
to let us animals just, you know, have the run of the place. It was very cool.
We almost broke your pool with doing that whirlpool where we were all spinning around and your pool was going all crazy.
No, call it what it is, Rat Bones. We did a water circle pit. We invented the water circle pit.
Rat Bones, what were you doing up there?
Huh?
What were you doing up there?
You know, back then, we floated around. I was, you know.
Was it a show or were you just you?
No, I don't even know. I might have just been hanging.
Rat Bones is like Woody Guthrie, bro. He just drifted around the country, you know.
Hey, I'll tell you, I really want to tell Jamey one thing. I mean, I don't have a question for Jamey, but I do want to say, man, you were such a good kid, and I'm old enough to call you a kid. Man, what you've done and the way that you followed the things you looked up to, your work ethic is crazy, but you basically left off where kind of Biohazard might have left off. You picked up that mantle and you charged so hard. And became like a Slayer, or I put you up there with Metallica or Slayer or any other band, you know, and it's just incredible to see
brother.
And then hearing you speak and seeing how elaborate you are, how deep you think about things, and your style, your work ethic. You know, nothing happens by accident, you know, and in life we're given a hand, and sometimes we're not looking at that hand, and if we rearrange our cards a little bit, we might just have the winning hand, you know, and you know, you speak to the youth. It's a heavy responsibility, and it's cool. You know, you never sold out. You really respect the new kids. I liked what you said about, like, believing in firsts. Like, we all, even as adults, like, I collect toys and comics, you know. I wanted to be on before when Madball was Hoya was on, because I just got the Madball toy, you know.
Nice
episode, you know, because I hunt the flea markets, because I got a passion for that. You know, that's everything, you know, and we should all feel like it's the first time all the time, right? It's a beautiful thing, man. So it's been great.
Thank you, bro. No, and you know what? When we used to come down to the shows and you guys would welcome us and be cool, that spirit of New York hardcore and the fact that it was inclusive. And I remember the first time I remember playing and seeing you out there moshing and sob moshing. And then I remember going from those small shows to headlining Roseland with Biohazard supporting us, Sigurdal supporting us, and seeing you all you guys still there, still supporting us. That's the definition of making it, is like having people ride with you for the whole journey and not jump off because of whatever or because of the next trend. And I think that's why New York hardcore, especially, not just the scene, but the bands in itself, it's gone global and stays global and continues to make people's lives better because of the inclusivity and what you've done with your show, Drew, and just going on the Facebook page and see, like, Facebook is usually like a cesspool of negativity, but you go to the New York Hardcore Chronicles page and people welcoming, people being, you know, actually involved, right? Like making thoughtful comments, making thoughtful observations.
I never from the very second I started it, I never let there be anything but. Like, I straight up in the beginning said, if you're going to be an asshole, you're out. This is when, you know, I never for a second let this created a space for anything but a positive, you know, good community. And I think that's why it worked out, you know.
No, and that's why so many people would travel from PA, from Connecticut, from Philly. We would take the train. We would save our money to go be a part of this and go into New York. And I got to really shout out Roger. And really, I think the turning point for us was getting to play the reunion shows. It was something, you know, I joke around with Hoya earlier about Finberg. And as much as people have bad things to say about Finberg, we can also say that without him giving us the opportunities, or at least putting it in the headliner's ear, we don't know what the future might have held, right? So he played a part in that, saying to Roger, like, look, this kid is one of your biggest fans. He's set up shows in Connecticut. He said to me for years, if AF ever comes back, please give me the shot. We'll play for free. We'll play first. So getting that cosign from AF and playing Wetlands and winning over the crowd and getting that blessing from Stigma and Roger was big. And I think it was the turning point for us to then say, okay, they put down the ladder for us. Who can we put down the ladder for now when we got signed and when we got some bigger shows? And then when we got to headline and make that choice of saying, like, oh, okay, now let's put Suffocation on. Let's put Crowbar on. Let's put Sick of It All on. Let's bring out AF. Let's bring out Madball. So, and Madball too, Madball and Earth Crisis, giving us that, us and Scarhead, you know, we have so many funny stories from that tour, me driving the Scarhead van, and just it's just great memories. And you know, that's part of the reason why we looked up to all the New York hardcore guys, was that ability, having that ability to say, man, these kids are cool, they're trying to do something good, and getting that cosign was always something that we were grateful for.
Cool. Hey, Rat Bones.
Yo.
Thank you. Anything on the way out? Thank you, brother.
Yo, man, Jamey, I just got to say, man, I'm sure, is there like a list of the 10 greatest lines out of Hatebreed songs? Because I'm sure, like this one, as old as I was, when I heard, how can you save me when you can't save yourself? I was like, it blew my mind, that simple little line, right? It awoke a door in my head, like, yeah, man, if you don't do this for your own life, even back then in turbulent times, that's what music does for us, man. It just builds our inner spirit. And I'm older. It don't do that for me anymore. I'm not going to even front. I mean, I like that. That's why we love the show. There's no bullshit. You know, it is, man. We love what we love. We're fucking family. We do our thing. But, you know, that's why you got to hand it back to the kids. It's the kids who feel that impact. Like, we used to fucking wear it in our chest. And, like, you know, whatever. You see your friend, you punch him, or, you know, we were wild. You know, we really amped each other up at shows and stuff. And you know, I'm glad that we're still part of keeping it going. And congratulations.
Thank you, Rat Bones, bro. You always put out the vibrations that the people need. You could turn a show that was fucking dead into your energy. You bring it, the passion and the power. That's the spirit of New York hardcore, and hardcore and punk music in general. Is like, yeah, don't be on this lateral plane. Don't be on this emotional zombie like plane. Go out, put your body on the line, put your life on the line for the music that you love, whether it's in then you've been in videos, diving off the balcony, and fucking any show where you're bringing that passion and that energy. The people feel that, and then they leave the show and they feel better about their life. They can face that next day or face that home situation or whatever. And that's why we loved it, right? That's why we went, is because it gave us that release. And then it also gave us that community. And that's something that we've lost through the whole internet age and through the whole COVID situation, is the connection with people, right? Having that.
But, you know, we have shows like this and your show, and this, you know, we're staying connected, man.
I was going to say, man, I'm so grateful that I've been able to be a part of this, and everyone that's watching the show that's ordered the shirt off me, and all our guests have been great. And it's, you know, it's uplifted us too. Like, we're doing it, but we're such a part of it. I mean, that's what makes hardcore shit, you know.
Rat Bones,
100 episodes. Congrats, guys.
See you later, Rat Bones.
Great to see you, Rat Bones. Thank you, brother.
Rat Bones! Rat Bones! Rat Bones! Rat Bones!
There you go. Hey, this is from Nathan Jennings. Hey, Jamey, love to hear of any fond memories in history of Hatebreed playing TJ's. That's TJ's in Newport, right? TJ's and Newport, Wales over the years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tons of great shows there.
TJ's is like that. That was like the CBGBs of over, like that was like a famous club, right?
Yeah, all the Welsh diehards.
Yeah.
Always supporting. That's the amazing thing about music and just hardcore and metalcore and death metal in general. It's like you could go to Detroit, you could go to Chicago. It was funny when Sid brought up World Demise. I was like, wow, what a great, so many great memories. I flew with a buddy of mine, Tim, on these, with these like economy tickets back then. This is pre 9/11, so it was, you could walk right to the gate and shit, and it was, I forget how much it was, but it was cheap. And we said, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna see Napalm Death and Obituary on World Demise. We went to the Riv, I think it was the Riv Theater in Chicago, and I remember that Obituary coming out with Final Thoughts and just being like, the whole crowd going crazy. And it was cool to see. My first show in Chicago was cool to see. It was very much like New York. It was, to me, it was like working class people. It was everybody, blacks, Hispanics, whites, Asians. It was very similar to the New York scene.
Sure.
Where that's something that we and Connecticut and Boston and Albany too. That's something that people, I think, in other places of the world, they don't realize that how good we had it, the way that our scenes were so diverse and so culturally significant because we learned about other people's lives and other people's interests and families. And so when we first went to Wales, you think, oh, who likes a band from Connecticut in anywhere in the UK? And then you got all these people wearing Madball, Agnostic Front, Chrome, Egg, Sepultura, Slayer. You go, wow, this is a groundswell of working class people who love the music. It gives them a charge like it gives us. And you go, wow, this is the ultimate equalizer. Music is this language, this universal language. It speaks to all walks of life.
It's the tie that binds us together.
For sure.
Hey,
shout out to TJ.
Real quick. Got to shout out Cousin Joe. It's his birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cousin Joe.
What's up, cuz? Miss you, man. I miss you,
brother. Cuz is the best. Shout out to B&B Bowl. And people still bring that up to me, that show. I get messages about that every month.
You guys smushed it, that show, bro.
Can I just say that the best feeling is when your favorite song comes on and you're at a show, and thank you, Cousin Joe, and thank you, Freddie, and everybody for giving us, for doing all the work, because it's so much work putting on a festival. I've done it, and to have AF play, to play all those records, right? Because the show, I was waiting for Eliminator, and when it kicked in, my hair stood up on the back of my neck. I was in the crowd, and the whole pit opened up. And there's nothing like that when your favorite band kicks into your favorite song and you're there at the show. There's no better feeling. It's like, it's something you can't quantify. It's worth, like, I would have paid double any admission just to get that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you go to a show, like, and you pay whatever it is, I don't know, $20 or whatever the show is. But then when you get that feeling, it's worth, you can't even put a price on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to say, cuz the invitation is always open. I'd love to have you on the show. We could do just walk through the history of the Black and Blue Bowl. You're loved here, and love to have you on one of these days, man. So that said, let's see. Here's an interesting one. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this for a second. Let's bring on the hardcore shutterbug, Steven Messina. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up?
Steven, what's up?
Jamey, how you doing?
Hey, Steven.
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm good, really good.
You sent me a couple of pictures that you took.
Yeah.
Let me put up a couple of these pictures. Let me put up one of these and tell us about it a little bit. Jamey, I'm sure, has never seen this. There you go.
Oh yeah. Sean Martin. Shout out to Sean Martin. Where's your Instagram, by the way? I try to tag him in a photo and his Instagram's gone. I think Instagram's deleting a bunch of people right now. It's fucked up.
Uh-oh.
Where's this from, Steven?
These are from the Square Diner over on Leonard Street by the old knitting factory.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah, and not in Brooklyn, in the
Manhattan.
City. This was when Jasta played with Agnostic Front that day, and who else was on that bill? Was it Hazen Street? No, but yeah,
Maybe Thy Will Be Done.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't That Will Be Done. It was Jasta and AF. Oh, and you know who else played? Rob from 9 Lives had a band that played too. I think they were called Malas Noches.
Oh yeah,
and it was great. But there's a few shots from the Square Diner there. There's a really good one of you and Vinny, and God, that was like 2007 or something like that. And
we had the idea. We were doing like pre-production for the Stigma record, I think, or
You produced the Stigma record?
Yeah, and we were going through all the ideas. Yeah. And that was another record. It was like, man, if it got the right push.
Yeah, that record was really good, man.
And I was saying, like, hire a big time publicist, get him on Conan O'Brien, get him in the get him on these big shows. Stigma's a star. He's a beloved individual all over the world. But because of the way the media worked back then, it was like, oh, it's if you're from the hardcore scene, you don't get to these bigger shows. And we would be like, no, if Dropkick Murphys could do it, if Slayer can do it, if Lamb of God can do it, then why can't Stigma do it? You know, he paved the way. He kicked the doors down for a lot of these bands to go through. But still, you know what? When I get a letter about that Stigma record, when people read the liners and they see that I produced and co-wrote some of the songs and I sang backups on like one of the songs or a couple of the songs, it's nice that people acknowledge Vinny, because Vinny makes any room a better room to be in, right? Like we always do. He would always joke with us on every tour we've done with AF. You come backstage, like, oh, come on in. I was just talking shit about you.
Hey, Steven, what's that shirt you're wearing?
Oh, I actually I whipped this up just for today. I figured this would be kind of fun. If you could see this.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's cool, man.
These are some of our biggest shows that we've had, actually.
Stigma, Danny Diablo, John Joe. Those are like the biggest shows we've done.
Luke
wow,
Cowboy.
man.
Oh yeah.
You know what,
That's
man?
great.
You know what? I should make some of those shirts, man.
Listen, why not? Let's do it. We got an army of flyers.
Well, listen, you know, I'm kind of busy saving the galaxies from imminent destruction between doing the show twice a week, working on the book, working on the A7 compilation, working on my new film, and
you lazy bastard.
Yeah. Do you got anything for Jamey on the way up?
I do, actually. You know, one funny thing. You mentioned the Stigma record, which one thing they forgot on the Stigma record, they forgot to credit the photographer. Because those are my pictures. But
I know
you made up for it before that, and I'll never forget it. I will take this with me. This means so much. This album right here, I bought this album as soon as it came out. And I got home and opened it up and was absolutely blown away, because this has got a whole bunch of my shots in it, which I didn't know you had, and you credited me. And I was like moved. I was just like, how did they get my pictures? And thank God they spelled my name right.
I think you gave us the disc.
I think I did. I did. And it's so funny. And it
from
just
the CB show, right? Was it for the CB show?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was the Ice Pick show. And I just
so when we do the vinyl, we will make sure you get credited. If we could find the fucking hard drive with the rest of the layout. Now that we have the cover, we have the master, we have the cover, and this is gonna help when we have to get it up on Spotify. All the issues with the old EMI deal are gone, right? Because we're out of the EMI deal, that we got the master back. But yeah, so now it can be released on Spotify. We can do the vinyl, and hopefully we could find the hard drive with the rest of the layout. If not, dig out those photos.
Oh, I got it for you. That was such a great those we did at Irving Plaza, upstairs bar at Irving Plaza. And
Yes.
but you know what I got to tell you? Which
You know,
is,
Jamey, this ice pick thing gets a lot of
that
buzz,
record,
man. People
record is
you know,
great.
you might have to suck it up and deal with Danny, man.
Well, you know what's beautiful is that it got a cult following, and that's
it does,
what
man. It really
that's
does.
what I always tell E. Like when the
Yeah.
last time E was on my podcast, I was saying to him, like, yeah, with I'm glad that they like it now. It was back then, it was people were just judging it based off of, I think, him transitioning into rap. So people thought that it was going to be rap, but there's really only like one song with even sort of rappy kind of bar spit on it. And that was with Ice-T. Then there was this confusion that it was me and Ice-T. Like some magazines reviewed it, and I don't even think they listened to it. So it got shot in the foot. We told you the other horror stories with the Russian leg breakers and all that stuff, but I am glad that people like it enough to now want to hear it on the streaming platforms and to get the vinyl. And so we will do that down the line, and we'll make sure that that happens now that we're all the drama from the old EMI deal is dead.
Cool. Hey, Stephen, thank you, man.
You're welcome. If I just got one more thing, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I gotta thank Wayne from Hatebreed for always coming through for me with photo passes and enabling me to get shots through the years. The most fun, always shooting you guys. And the last thing I want to say is, I think it was 2 years ago you played the Wolf Den in Mohegan Sun, which was insane. They played in the middle of a casino, and there were no walls, so there's no soundproof. So Hatebreed is playing full blast, and there's like old people on slot machines, and
that's your home state,
in
right,
Connecticut.
Jamey?
It was so amazing, and as they're leaving, Jamey says, "Everyone get home safe and put some money on Black 13 for me." So me and my two girlfriends, we went to the show. On our way back to the hotel room, we said, screw it. Let's put some money on Black 13. We hit it on the first try, paid for our hotel, paid for the tolls and gas back to New York. And we each went home with like $500-600 in our pocket.
That's awesome.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I have a song on the Jasta album that came out last December, The Lost Chapters 2. It's called 13 Appears. And I was seeing 13 everywhere. And it was driving me nuts. And so when I would play roulette, I would always win on Black 13 to the point where it started getting spooky. Or I would go and mail something out to somebody, and their address would have a 13 in it. Or I would be driving behind somebody and their license plate would have a 13. I was seeing it everywhere. So I wrote this song with Tommy Victor. Shout out to Tommy Victor.
Love Tommy
because he's like the Larry David of hardcore and metal, right?
And he's solid. He's like a solid dude. Like
he's a solid dude. See, if he had, you want to talk about a great concept for a whole New York Hardcore Chronicles podcast series, get the board tapes. Find all his CB's
board tapes.
And then do listening parties and get people on who are at the shows so that when you hear the stage banter, you can say, oh yeah, this was Sonic Youth this day, whatever. Thurston was talking to so and so. You know what I mean? Like you could break it down from people who were actually there, Tommy included. But so Tommy sings on this song with me, 13 Appears, which is about that whole run. And I still see it. I don't see it as much as I did, but I would get booked on hotels on the 14th floor, and really the 14th floor
is the 13th floor.
Yes,
that's it.
So 213, I would always get booked in room 213.
That was Jeffrey Dahmer's
hey, Stephen, you mentioned the two girlfriends. Everybody sort of jumped in on that. Is that the night when my girlfriend didn't show up? Was she off running around with you at some casino?
I can neither confirm
two girlfriends,
or deny that.
All right, you're macking, always macking, never lacking. Hey, thanks, man. And listen, thank you for everything with the show. You've been a big part of it.
100, man. And wait to the 200th episode, man. Jay,
thanks, Stephen. Congrats,
thank you so much,
man.
Bro. Amazing.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, you know what, Jamey? I was thinking that you are now like you're here on the 100 show. Now you're gonna have to come back. It'll be you'll be like for the 200 show. You'll come back like it'll be like a tradition where like every time we hit like the big next up. It'll take me a while to get to 200, but I was I mean we're going a little long here. Just a couple more things, but man, your podcast is what 300. Wait, I have the number here. 368 episodes already, man.
638.
No. Excuse me. I have 568. You've published more. 500.
Yeah, it's getting up there. Yeah, I think we're at. Wait, is it 630? No, we're at 580, 590, but I think 570 are out.
That's just amazing, man. I mean, that's just amazing. And my question is, this isn't really a podcast. This is like when you started, you had a podcast. Now we're doing like, what is this that we're doing? Is this a live video streaming show? That's what I tell people now.
Yeah. No, but it's a podcast for sure.
I think I always thought a podcast was audio only.
Yeah, I've heard people say that, and we were super late to the game. Like I just got a YouTube channel, and then I had John Joseph on, and now I'm shadow banned. So,
right. What do you mean we shadow banned? What does that mean?
So I guess because we said certain things, if you say like a certain name of certain people, or if you say anything about the C word, well, we could say, are we on YouTube or are we on?
No, we're on YouTube and
okay.
We're on Facebook.
So,
yeah.
So it's weird when I was trying to get to 20,000 subscribers, got to like 10 quickly, got to 15, then had John Joseph on and had a couple, I think Carl from Earth Crisis too. We talked about, I think it was Bill Cooper and Behold a Pale Horse. And so we started getting into,
you were getting into that stuff.
Yes. And then with John, we got into, the shot that might be, I don't want to say the V word, but so we got into some stuff, and then all of a sudden, like an episode with like Des from Devil Drivers, like 20,000 views, but then it was like 1,000 views. Now I never relied on YouTube, but I say to people, go subscribe, go comment, try to get us back in the algorithm because they're censoring shit, and I got to be careful with what I say. But if you don't see it pop up in your feed, it's because there certain things they don't want to promote, but we're doing great on iTunes and Spotify and everywhere else. So thank you for the support. And I'm gonna subscribe to your Patreon tonight. I just got a Patreon too.
I don't. Your money's not good here, bro. Don't.
Oh, come on. No. I support like Dean Del Rey has a great Patreon. Dino from Fear Factory has a Patreon. He put up. I gotta break Dino's balls because he put up like one guitar video. I'm like, bro, I'm paying $10 a month. Where's the content?
Listen, poor Dino. He's got a rough life right now with everything that's going on, the drama with that band.
I know we got someone shot his windshield. I was like, what? Was that a drive-by?
I mean, I know we're sort of. You know what? I'll just throw this out there. That's sad what happened with that band. You know what I mean? It's like some bands. I'll even throw the Cro-Mags word out there. It's inevitably sad what happens with some of these bands, and Fear Factory is one of those things, man. It's like they were so great, and it's just, and I know, listen, we have drama in Antidote, but it sucks, like Dino.
But you didn't have toxic drama like they did. I mean, that was no. I think Fear Factory is up there with Cro-Mags as far as the toxicity of the drama, and it's definitely unfortunate for sure.
It's like
because
Skid Row. It's like Skid Row level stuff, like really.
Yeah, it's toxic where it's never, and I think a lot of us from that 70s and 80s kids, when the parents were getting divorced, it's harder on us, right? Because we don't want our bands. Yeah. We already went through our parents getting divorced. We don't want our bands getting divorced.
You know what, bro? That's really, I never thought of that. I come from, my parents were divorced when I was young. It's true. Like it's almost like it's uncomfortable to me, It is. And even with the show, like we don't do politics on this show. This show started, was created at a time when, the kind of theme was at the beginning of the pandemic, enough with the bad news and the writing and the bad shit. Come here. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about, community, and we're not going to talk about music. And and like, that was really, the basis of the early success of the show. Let me ask you about this. This hasn't come up in the show. A bunch of people have asked, and that's this band. And, people are asking if anything, where's things at with you and Kirk, and anything in the future.
Yeah, we finally.
And I'm sorry, and this, of course, being Kingdom of Sorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. It looks like we're gonna do it. We're finally getting the other obligations out of the way. And is that Steve Gibb? Yeah, there's Steve too. Shout out to Steve. I love Steve, such a great dude. And Kenny from Typo filled in for Kirk.
Yeah,
when
I saw that. That's in my notes.
Down went and did the Metallica tour, and Kenny stepped in for Kirk, and it was great. It was amazing to have Kenny with us, and he really did me a solid. I had been talking to Wino from The Obsessed and St. Vitus about filling in for Kirk, and Wino was going to do it, and then something came up. Wino couldn't do it, and Kenny ended up doing it, which was, he saved the tour for me. It was a big tour, 10 weeks with Guar, going all over the U.S. And so I thought maybe for this new one, we would have Kenny involved, Steve, Charlie, Nick, Kirk, and myself, and hopefully get Wino on some tracks too, and go for more of a sludge, sort of really heavy, dark, Sabbathy vibe, kind of similar to the last album, and a little bit of some of the hardcore elements like the first album. But Kirk sent me 2 songs. They sound incredible. I wrote lyrics for both of them, and we'll see what happens towards the end of the year. Maybe he finished the Chroma record. He's working on a solo record now. I'm working on the D. Snyder album. Then I have the Jasta album coming out. And then I have another production gig, which I can't talk about yet, but people are going to flip out. It's one of your favorite death metal singers doing a solo record over the hardest shit ever. I can't wait to announce it. So
how's D doing?
D's doing great. His pipes are unreal. Yesterday we did 2. Oh my God. This guy, when dealing
tell me about it. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. His age, that his pipes are like that, right?
It's incredible. I think people are going to really like this record. This guy can do takes one shot and that are like album worthy. No auto tune. Like and he'll be like, "Oh, can we fix that?" And we're like, "Dude, it's like almost spot on." And those days, those singers that just had the natural talent, the raw talent.
That's an OG right there. I mean, the way that guy came up. I mean, did you see the Twisted Sister documentary?
Oh, it's incredible.
I love it, bro. I love that doc, man.
Twisted Sister, not only one of the greatest rock bands of all time, rock metal, whatever you want to call them, one of the greatest bands of all time, solid, a band with the great third verse. We forget about the third verse because now everybody does the bridge. But back then, when you have that third verse and the riff is so good that you're like, I want to hear it again, and building on whatever the song is about in that third verse. Think about the great third verses. Twisted Sister has so many of them. And one of the original PMA, either right around the time of Bad Brains or slightly before, D was putting out that positive mental attitude, really making people be okay with who they are and how they want to express themselves. You got this big, tall guy dressing wild, talking wild with that accent, larger than life. I mean, he's those characters.
I should get him on this show, man.
You should. I'll connect you.
He's a real dude. Like, I used to see him riding the subway in New York. Like, that guy is real. I mean,
for sure. You should get JJ French too.
Yeah,
JJ,
I'd love JJ has the hardcore connection. He does.
He does. And when he wanted to manage Hatebreed, and I went into the city before we were signed and met with him, and he was managing a band called Seven Dust. Yeah, and I always respected the hell out of D and JJ and all those Twisted guys because they didn't give up. They didn't go, the industry says this new stuff is coming. They were entrepreneurs. They were on the grind. D was in Hartford, took over Howard Stern's spot on the radio. And I was so impressed with that. Like, then did his movie and got like Rammstein and Pantera and Static X and all these Seven Dust and all these big bands on the soundtrack. He could have done other styles of music, but he rode for metal. He rode for heavy music. And you know what's crazy about D is we call him OGD. We do, because
That's cool.
He hits me up and he goes, you know what? He loves hardcore, like shit. One time he said to me, man, this band Ignite, Darkest Days, this
No way.
Yeah, he goes, this fucking Darkest Days album is incredible. I'm like, dude, that's a classic. That's like a hardcore Bible classic. Then he hit me up. He's like, I'm on the treadmill. You ever hear this band Death Before Dishonor? It's like hardcore. He goes, this shit is hard. Yeah.
Listen, you hear stories about it's almost like it's like another planet. When those guys, the work and work ethic that those guys put in back in the day, playing 5, 6, 7 nights a week, the Fountain Casino, all these places, that era, they play, Rat Race Choir, the Good Rats, all the Zebra, how about Twisted Sister sold out the Palladium and they were unsigned?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Here's a great Christopher Kashmar. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Chris. Wasn't D in a band with Don Fury? D put Don Fury on. So yes.
No way.
Yes. Listen, he put Don Fury on. He got there's some connection with Don going into recording and D. So there's actually a 6 Degrees of D Snyder thing where we might not have had those Don Fury classic albums, 7 inches, demos, whatever, without D's involvement. So there's that too. We need to talk. You need to get Don on the show and you need to get D on the show and find out there. But I'm pretty sure there's a connection there where somehow D had a hand in it.
I'd love to talk to D. You're going to hear from me about the D thing, because he's just a real dude and he's welcome here. That said, hey, listen, we've been going at it for quite a while. I want to thank you. Thank you for being a guest on the 100th show. And
my pleasure. I'm honored to be here, man.
We got to do this film podcast thing. If you don't do it, I'm gonna friggin' do it.
No, we're gonna book it. I'm gonna copy you on an email with Brian. We're gonna book it for 3 weeks from now, because we're doing another episode. We're doing that movie I Come in Peace with Dolph Lundgren with the aliens. Do you remember that?
No.
I want to say it was after Rocky IV where they thought, let's make Dolph an action star like Stallone, like Jean-Claude.
What was this called? I Come in Peace?
I Come in Peace, and it was fucking wild. You should show the trailer. We've shown this trailer on so many podcasts now.
Here it is.
I went to see it in first day in the theater.
It's an American science fiction action film directed by Craig Baxley, starring Dolph Lundgren. The film was released. Yeah.
And you know what other movie Baxley did? He did Cobra, and we've done that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and the biggest line of the film is in the trailer. You remember how they had to have the one-liners in every trailer? So Dolph at the end of the trailer, the alien is like, I come in peace. And Dolph's like, and you go in pieces. It's spoilers. The whole movie is basically in the trailer.
Sequel. Co-star Matthias Hughes lobbied for a sequel from early 2000s until 2016. I've never even heard of this film, bro.
It's a sleeper, bananas, wild, crazy film that I suggest everybody watch. And this movie podcast that we do on Patreon, it's patreon.com/Jasta. It's called How Awesome Is This? And we watch movies that are either completely awesome or awesomely bad. And we've done Running Man, we've done Cobra, we've done Commando, we've done Bloodsport.
Directed by Craig Baxley, who's an American director, stunt coordinator, stunt performer, and occasional actor. He is best known for his work in the action and thriller genres.
Yeah, because if you see the
A
stunts,
real
and you
Hollywood
see,
guy, yeah.
yeah, you'll see like in Stallone will be dragged like in Cobra. There's a scene where the bikers are dragging
Yeah.
dudes, and then in this movie, there's people being dragged behind a car. So it could have been him doing the stunts too, for all I know. But yeah, I'm into all those, nerding out on all those movies.
And also,
we'll
listen,
definitely do it.
I want to say, Hatebreed documentary. I mean, just I love.
Yes.
At some point, let's, we'll give it a minute, but maybe we'll sit down, we'll break bread, we'll talk about it.
We really should.
We should, man. We should.
Especially with the 30-year, knock on wood, with the 30-year anniversary, 25 years Under the Knife coming up, and then the 30th anniversary for the band. And also 2022 is the 20th anniversary of Perseverance. So God willing, or universe willing, whatever you want to say, I do believe in a higher power. I don't know if there's a name for he or she or it or what, but if there's a higher power looking down on all of us, and we get to 2022 and we can safely have a show, who knows, maybe with this 20th anniversary of Perseverance, maybe we could start with something like a mini doc for that, which I think would be cool.
Frank Nichols was Frank's already saying, can I send you some can I send some stuff in for it?
Yeah. The P.O. box. Shit. Now I'm going to forget the P.O. box. Just write jastashow@gmail. Brian will send you the P.O. box. And we got a hotline. If anybody does a good imitation of anybody, we got a hotline, 201-677-8032. We're looking for people to do impressions of anybody as contributors to the show. We're bringing back all the segments on the show. Hit the bell, subscribe at youtube.com/the Jasta Show. Get us unshadow banned. So, I thought we were shadow banned because we did a show called Metal Dudes Doing Non-Metal Things, and we had in-video sponsorship. Like we put the Monster can and we wore, and you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to use their ads. So we did these killer shows, but they only got like 20,000 views, and people told me,
I hope that doesn't happen to me, man. That's like I'd be crestfallen.
Well, I think you're in the algorithms, man. Once you get in the algorithms, you're good. You just can't talk about those. You can't. Hopefully, I didn't fuck up by saying anything.
Well, listen,
John Joseph, he says the names that get you banned right out of the gate. Like this lady don't say it. Don't talk
about it. This is my livelihood now.
People think it's a conspiracy, but it's not. Like he said the name of a lady and she got killed for her. Yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to John. We'll do part 3, but yeah. And then patreon.com/Jasta, or check out the network, gasdigitalnetwork.com. Rob Flynn from Machine Head has a great podcast. He just had just had Wolf from Accept on, which is a great episode.
Rob's got it going on. I had Contos on my show. He was good,
Oh yeah. So I kind of put that little birdie out in the world when everything went down. I don't know if you talked to Contos about this, but I said, as a old school Machine Head fan, when everything went down, I said, now is the time to book the fucking reunion with Contos and fucking Logan, and boom,
right,
they were in a room. So I hope I had a little play in that.
I think you did. Anybody you want to shout out on the way out?
Just everybody here in the chat, everybody watching live, and everybody that supports your show, and all the content creators out there. It's we're not asking for sympathy. It's been rough, right? Especially anybody who has had tours booked, or has had their business closed, or has had any effect, a negative effect from this whole thing, from this whole quarantine. We're just happy to be making content, putting it out, and having the opportunity to have people appreciate it. And you do a great thing. Again, you brought it up with the connection, giving people a connection, giving people a gateway into these lives and into the stories that made all these great records, great tours, great albums, and all the characters, man. Shout out to Hoya, shout out to E, shout out to Rat Bones and Sid and Steven. And it's just every day is a blessing, man, that we get to do this and be inspired by creative people. And what a time to be alive, man.
It was a great show, man. I knew it was going to be a great. And I spent 4 hours doing my homework, and once you get Isaac and Hoya, forget it. It goes out the window, man.
No, but it was great, and I'm so glad there's interest in all the other musical projects and stuff. And that's, at the end of the day, that's the head of the snake. So, and shout out to Matt and Chris and Wayne and Frank and Kirk and Gib and I've been so lucky to jam with so many talented and creative people who give it their all and leave it all on the stage. And yeah, man, it's we'll see what happens. But 2022 is, like I said, 20th anniversary of Perseverance. And then this year is 25 years since Under the Knife. So let's hope we could do something.
Wow. All right, man. I'll be in touch. And hey, let me know. Let's do Sorcerer, man.
The Sorcerer is hard.
If we're gonna do it, I'll watch it and I'll send you the DVD.
No, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
It's dope.
It's dope. And
I saw the movies. I saw the movies as a kid, bro. I was like, what is this?
See, I think the title scared people off because the title's not exactly indicative of what the content of the film is.
Yeah, Sorcerer was the name of the truck they were driving.
Right, but I think because Exorcist freaked everybody out, it was like they pressured him to call it something that you could maybe construe as being related to the Exorcist when it's not.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, we'll have to do it. And sorry if we didn't get to any questions in the chat, but
it was great, man.
We'll see you on 200.
I'll see you soon, man. Take care.
Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Well, there you go. Wowie zowie, man. That was really something else. You've been watching the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live 100th landmark episode. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, The Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction, Records and Skateboards, Your Core fan page, DTFM Vinyl Distro, and everybody's favorite, ORL, Organic Oral Care, you friggin' Neanderthals. Listen, I want to thank everybody. It was really great. I'm living the dream. Not to sound corny, I'm doing something I really, really love doing. And I'm really fortunate that I have people like yourselves that support me. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We've created something special here. I look forward to it every time. It has really become my passion and one of the joys of my life. So that said, I'll see you on Wednesday for the A7 compilation reveal. And until then, my friend, my loved one, do good things and good things will come to you.